Hello, everybody, and welcome to Heads Must Roll, a D&D actual play podcast set in the world of tyranny, corruption, revenge, and vigilante justice. Each of our heroes has had a life-altering brush with corruption in their past. Because of their troubled past, our heroes were approached by a stranger who invited them to join an underground secret society of vigilante outcasts. The goal of the secret society is to expose and disrupt tyranny and corruption in the government. These are their adventures. All right. Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. This is our first official episode of our first official campaign. So, because it's the first episode, we're going to really quick kind of go over the basic world building stuff that you need to know. Starting with the basics of the actual world that we're living in, a nation called Havathax. Henry, you want to take it away?
Yeah, sounds good. Havathax and the larger material plane was created roughly 11,000 years ago by Havgar, the illegitimate, half-demon, half-deity son of the ancient god king and creator of the Outer Planes, Bophus. Havgar created the material plane as a secluded place where he could be alone from his ostracized life in the abyss, and life sprung up on Havathax after Havgar ejaculated forcefully into the ground in a fit of teary-eyed, scorn-fueled masturbation. For over 10,000 years, Havathax was ruled by chaos, but the birth of Thaxelroth, a mortal-born god of law and order, roughly 3,000 years ago, caused a rift in society that led to a balanced, representative federal government to be established about 500 years ago. Now, with the future of the society to be put to a vote of the citizens, and society roughly split down the middle between the Havgarian and Thaxelrothian sects, those in power seek to shift the vote in their favor. However, a secret society of vigilantes won't let the corrupt power brokers have the last say.
And our first season is going to be taking place in a city called Bezbophus.
The second oldest city in Havathax, Bezbophus is also a holy site to Havgarians and Thaxelrothians, since it is the site where Havgar marshaled humanoids to help him kill his father Bophus, due to the latter's desire to end the torture of humanity by destroying the entire material plane. Its importance to both faiths has kept the city in turmoil, crippling the development of the city and leaving it impoverished, a dangerous city where the strong survive and the weak die. Our heroes have made their base in the city, but whether they'll bring order to it or throw it into the chaotic deep end remains to be seen.
And the secret society that we all belong to is called the Branded Hand. The Branded Hand is a small but extremely well-connected and funded underground secret society of vigilante outcasts who share the common goal of exposing and disrupting tyranny, protecting the oppressed and neutralizing their oppressors, and expropriating wealth from the upper class to aid the poor. The Branded Hand is based in the capital city of Garam Torum, but it has operations in the 8 major cities in Havathax, including Bezbophus, where this campaign is taking place. The Branded Hand was founded by Janandra Enrieth, an elven divine soul sorcerer who has dedicated her great powers and wealth to fight for the oppressed, impoverished, and underprivileged. When she was young, she inherited a hefty fortune and a conglomerate of businesses throughout Havathax after her father died. She used her massive windfall to dedicate herself to fight for justice and equality, and uses the businesses she owns in each city as a front for secret lairs where her agents gather to rest, receive their assignments, and plan their operations. Each secret lair has a golden bust of Janandra, from which she can directly communicate with her agents and give them orders. These secret lairs are accessed through a closet that turns into a portal for those who bear the secret society's brand on their palm.
Yeah, and there's a whole initiation ceremony that goes with it. All new recruits that are prospects of the organization gather at the hand's right, where each agent must reach into an engraved ancient cauldron of constant swirling, bubbling liquid. Steam bellows out as the initiates reach into the cauldron. If the initiate is rejected, then their hand will be swallowed by the cauldron and will be severed. If they are accepted into the fold, then they will grasp a palm-sized stone that is so cold to the touch that it gives a burning sensation. The stone melts like ice into the palm of the newly inducted member, burning an invisible brand into their hand.
Awesome. So that's the basics, the very dense basics that we all need to know in order to play this game. So let's go ahead and meet all of the characters and the players who will be playing them, starting with Erin.
Hi, I'm Erin. I'll be playing Dalana Greydark. She is a half-elf rogue, 21 years old. She is, originally from Nazmia, another country, and came over with her cousin when she was 16 years old to do a internship at the Convocation of Equity in the city of Garam Torum. And 4 or so years later, she escaped what really ended up being a kind of a sex cult situation, not really an internship, and she's been on the run for the past year and has recently joined the Branded Hands.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's Dalana, and we'll move over to Devin.
Yeah, I am Devin. I will be playing Daniel San Wei, who is a young man, and he is a monk. Yeah, he's a monk who is out to seek revenge for the unjust and unrightful murder of his master, and thus, through a series of events, found himself in the fold of the organization.
All right, and next we will introduce Henry.
Hey, I'm Henry. I'm playing Dektrin Gorin, who is a former member of the zombie-destroying organization called the Scourge Purgers, who has recently left the organization under not-so-nice circumstances due to a series of disagreements with the leadership regarding the future of the organization and their proper goals. So he ended up in the organization, or the secret society rather, kind of hoping that they can help him find a way to change the organization and make the world a bit of a better place.
Very, very noble. And then I'll go ahead and hello. My name is Jake, and I am playing Ingus the Clown, whose real name is Anslian Mugwood. He is a halfling bard who is an aspiring clown with anger issues. Basically, when he was younger, he belonged to a very rich, noble family of halflings who owned a giant business in the home city of Hamtham. He was a playboy and essentially got addicted to drugs, a drug called Ricochet. And as a drug addict, he became an embarrassment to his family, and his family decided to have him killed. So a bunch of thugs kidnapped him and put him in a barrel of acid and rolled him down a hill. Thankfully, he was rescued just like a minute later by a traveling circus, and they took him in and healed him up, and he became dedicated as a clown performer for the circus. As they trained him and he recovered, he discovered that clowning and spreading that sort of joy is his true calling in life. But what happened was a fellow clown, his trainer in the circus, backstabbed him and forced him to do a performance that required him to crawl into a barrel, and he had a giant panic attack and accidentally burnt the circus tent down. And he has been excommunicated from the circus that saved him, and he became a wanderer living in the forest until he was approached by the Branded Hand, and now he is an agent who is set out to get justice for the oppressed. And then next up, we have Kurt.
All right, so I'm Kurt McMahon. I'm playing Riven Larinus, a human rogue fighter. 20 years old, Riven grew up in the lap of luxury. His family was both noble and wealthy, so he grew up in a world of business titans and power brokers. There was nothing in the world that couldn't be bought in Riven's world, but as the first son, he was groomed to take over the family's business, empire, and political offices. One day, at the feast of... Dude, I don't know any feasts. What do we have feasts of?
What's
Of
that?
the Day of Coming.
The Day of Coming.
The Feast of the Day of Coming. Should we roll
Mostly
with that?
soups, thick
I was just
soups.
gonna say, what would you eat on that
energetic
day?
day.
Oh my god.
Some
Very
like chowder or something like that.
Yeah,
Something
chowdery
very
type of
fish.
deals.
Definitely cream based.
The Day of Coming is the only known
God
holiday
damn.
that we have in this world.
Oh my god.
I like it.
All right, it's canon now.
100% is canon.
So shall it be written. So one day at the Feast of Coming, I met the daughter of a rival family. We started seeing each other in private, falling in love over the coming weeks. We kept our love secret to avoid the scandal that we knew would follow, but it was unavoidable. Eventually, our families found out. My father threatened to cut me off if I didn't swear off the relationship. I refused, but it was all for naught when my love caved to her family's demands and ended the relationship. Abandoned, embittered, and suddenly on the outside looking in, I saw the actions of my family in a new light. Every cold-hearted business decision, every ruthless political move, I saw the people who were hurt and left behind. I started to look for ways to push back, and one day I decided to steal from my own family's business and gave it to the recently fired workers. This was the act that drew the attention of the branded hand.
Nice. And finally, we have Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I'll be playing the character Alrieth Novaris, also known as Eli by his friends. He's a hexblade with a sworn pact to a mysterious sentient sword that calls herself Idril Yavanna. Came to stumble upon this dark artifact after being thrown into a dungeon by his former employer Baron Martins. Life as bodyguard and enforcer for Lord Martins had been good, until he sent him off on a suicide mission in order to take advantage of his betrothed, the beautiful Estelle. While barely returning home alive, he discovered the deceit, and Estelle ended her own life in shame. After languishing in a dark prison for some time, it was the enchanted sword that actually allowed him to escape and exact his revenge. Well, now the rest is history and a burnt-down manor. He seeks a new life, perhaps fortune, love, or something else entirely.
That is who we are and what we are about. And we are about to embark on our very first adventure as agents of the Branded Hand, so I will officially hand it over to our DM, Eric.
All right, and I am Eric, and I will be your DM for this evening. So if everybody's ready, we'll get rolling.
I totally spaced. I didn't say what class I am. So I'm going to set the record straight. I'm playing a cleric for the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to like ADR.
But are you?
My
Yeah,
name is
cleric?
this.
I am a cleric.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that info gets in there.
It won't
Thank you.
matter. They'll see what it is really good.
Yeah.
Just paste it in there.
Yeah. Now, if you ever
Keep it
interrupt
humble, though.
Eric again, I swear to God.
Oh, God.
All right, get him, Jake. You're going to be my enforcer.
Yeah.
Eric like six Jake on me. Jeez, I get it. Okay, I'm good.
All right. So, all of our characters have just been inducted into the secret society called the Branded Hands. And the initial base of operations for our new Branded Hand members is an unsuspecting inn. So, it rests along the docks of Bestbofus and is called the Full Mast Inn. Gallantly named for the mighty sailing ships coming into dock from the dark waters of Great Lake Flaxidor.
Sure.
The inn's sole proprietor, that is what it's named for. The inn's sole proprietor is a leather-faced gnome named Grom Seckelbeck, who retired some time ago from the Branded Hands, but still aids the society's operations and guides new members. Working the tables at the Full Mast is a halfling named Alan, who cleverly disguises himself as a human child to avoid suspicion of him working as a butler of sorts for Branded Hand agents. Presently working as head chef is a young red-haired girl named Fiona, who either cannot speak at all or perhaps just chooses not to. On top of being an inn for the general public and base of operation for the Branded Hands, Grom regularly uses his inn as a shelter for homeless orphans and street urchins, some of which choose to stay and work at the inn from time to time. These unfortunate youngsters also serve as valuable informants as to the ongoings in the unforgiving streets of Bestbofus. Here at this homely inn is where our players will begin their journey as new agents of the Branded Hands. All right.
Dun, dun.
And so where we will begin is going to be about late morning in the Full Mast Inn. So everyone is already kind of woken up and is kind of milling around in kind of the main level of the Full Mast, probably at one of the tables. So Grom, again, the owner of the inn, is busily hammering what looks like a sign that's just a piece of wood with charcoal scratched onto it that says "The Hungry Gall," and he's hammering it into the side on the inside of the inn. You can see Alan by the fireplace is kind of scooping out ashes from the last night, preparing it for the new evening. Fiona is busy in the back, cooking up something for the lunch hour. And then there's also a very grizzled-looking dwarf that is sitting at the bar, busily chugging as much ale as he can possibly fit into his mouth, which is hidden somewhere in his beard. He seems more beard than dwarf.
Nice.
And so with that, we will start off with our players. So where would you guys be, and what would you kind of be doing at this time in the Full Mast?
So it's mid-morning, you said, so we've already woken up and coming down.
Yep. So Dalana, what would you be doing?
I'd be chilling right here
Post
by this
breakfast.
fireplace, getting warm, munching. You know, it seems real cozy over there. Got a backrest on the chairs. Drinking, I don't know, they have coffee here or something like that. Energy drinks.
Energy
They got
drink.
Monster around here? Or they got like Red Bull?
I don't know. Oh, I mean, like, coffee, tea, or whatever.
Yeah, there'd probably be some tea that the inn would
Chai
have.
latte.
They might have some
Oh,
Four
yeah.
Loco. You never know. It could be one of those couple places.
Yeah. Whatever they got, I'm drinking it. Mm-hmm.
Like if Monster sponsors us, we'll definitely do some product placements in
Yeah.
character in the bar. Hey, do you have a nice, refreshing Monster energy drink? Really need some fuel for my adventures.
I don't even think like a sponsored podcast could describe Monster as refreshing. It's just lying to the consumer.
Could I have a not terrible monster, please?
Get it in you. That's what potions of healing are.
Yeah.
So funny.
Potions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potions of
Poor
giant
Loco.
strength.
Disgusting.
We'll just stick with the regular tea.
So we all know what potions of haste taste like.
I'm gonna quaff an action surge.
Yeah. That'd be one of like the Bang energy drinks that has like 300 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh my
God.
god.
That's about as close to
Yeah.
a haste potion.
Yeah, you'll
as you
see
can get.
colors after that.
Yeah.
That-
We should
yeah.
get sponsored by Mike Tyson's Black Sex Energy.
I didn't know they finally marketed that.
Oh, it's out there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's for sale in America, but it's out there.
I think we have to import that from Poland, though, don't we?
I think so.
Have to pass it by customs. Daniel-san, what are you doing currently? Late morning.
I see there's some playing cards on the table there. Are there any like street gamblers outside? Anyone playing dice out on the streets?
I'm sure there'd be somebody out on the streets playing dice in some dark alley somewhere.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna go out the front door and I'm gonna turn to the nearest alleyway that's around this, the full mast.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go, cause you guys asked what I was gonna spend my 16 gold on. It's dice. It's
Gambling.
gambling.
Right into
Yeah.
gambling.
It's gambling. I'm gonna peek down the first alleyway I see. I'm gonna turn to my right, I guess, down the street, the main thoroughfare, and I'm gonna find the next closest alleyway and peek down it, see if I see some people with Dyson cups and shit.
So there's two guys that seem to be making some sort of business deal, but it does not seem to be like they're rolling dice.
Okay, so he goes to opposite direction, so left from the storefront, and he
Okay.
peeks down that next alleyway, and he sees if there's people with Dyson cups or whatever.
And eventually you are able to find a circle of people that are playing dice in an alleyway.
Sick. Okay, I will go stand. I don't have any sleeves, anyways, because otherwise I was gonna roll up one sleeve and then like get ready to do Dyson cups.
Roll
So
up
instead-
imaginary sleeve.
I will, yeah, of course. Well, he does that anyways when he's like getting ready for a fight. So Daniel will he'll saunter up and check and see what game it is, and if it's one that he's familiar with, which is probably most of them, then he will definitely sit down in the circle and because I'll observe. I want to see what the odds are, you know.
Okay. So it's four very raggedy looking guys that are kind of surprised as you walk up,
Mhm.
and they're playing a game that they call as God's Eye.
Oh, sick! One of my favorites. And I'll I'll jump in to their circle. You said it was like two other guys. How many other
So
fellas are?
there's four.
4 total. Hell yeah.
You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get beat
Now
to
we got
death
good
in an
odds.
alleyway.
That's what you said last time when I fucking killed the crab, so whatever. But yeah, no, I'll sit in and I won't start betting yet until it's back around.
Okay. And you see that these guys are betting currently for scraps of food and like every once in a while maybe a few coppers.
Okay.
You see like a pair of shoes comes in. There's like a
Nice.
single glove that one guy bets.
Cool.
So it seems more like things that they've found. So
Sick.
it's not hot winnings.
That's fine.
Time to turn this 16 gold into 0 gold.
Well, I got a mystery berry to bet.
I mean, maybe they're cool shoes. Maybe you could resell
Yeah,
the
right? As far as I'm concerned, Daniel's not wearing shoes, so like I'm down for
Yeah.
it.
From the looks of it, the shoes have bite marks on them.
Nice.
Human bite marks. So they are made of leather.
Oh, so they got a little hungry? Okay.
Even cooler, they got that distressed look.
Yeah,
it's
hell
the,
yeah.
it's the in thing. Yeah, the worn shoes.
So God's Eye, this is, I mean, obviously this is the game where you want to get a roll of a 1 is the greatest fucking roll in the game.
You want to roll a 1 and you roll 2 dice. So you want to roll a 1 on one of them and then roll a high number on the next.
Oh.
But if you roll
and then
snake eyes, you instantly lose.
If you roll Snake Eyes? Oh, because you only want one of
Mhm.
God's Eye.
Because
Yeah,
you only
don't
want one
two.
God's Eye. If you get 2, then you're cursed.
But if I'm competing with another person or with a group of people, is it like the lowest number and then the highest number of your hand, like your hand wins?
Yes.
Cool.
So like
All
if
right.
you don't roll a 1, then like you just don't get a score.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Daniel's like, oh, okay. Seems like the odds are, seems like the pot's real rich with this time. What's in the pot this time around?
Okay, the
actually,
pot.
for this.
Okay,
Yeah.
in the pot there's a cooked rat, one chewed shoe, a necklace of teeth of some sort of animal,
Gross.
and then with 2 kind of worn gloves, leather gloves, not chewed.
Whose teeth are they?
Animal teeth is what I've been told.
It seems like animal teeth. They're a bit longer and sharper than human teeth, but
Are they both right hand gloves or?
they should be.
They should be. Daniel-san will totally throw his mystery berry, which I've been told it's actually a berry of poison resistance, so it's actually a fancy berry. He'll throw that shit in there.
Okay, and so you throw a berry, and everyone's kind of like,
Oh yeah.
so because you threw in some fruit, so this protects from
lucrative.
scurvy a little bit. So the fruit thing you're up in the ante.
I didn't get a 1. I got a 2 and a 3.
Okay, well you gotta throw it into the middle.
Oh, I did it then. It's still a 2 and a 3.
Okay, and so one of the guys did roll a 1 and then a 4, and so
Okay.
he wins the round and
Gets
then
the
also
pot.
wins the pot.
There you go. Say, good one, dude.
Berries go good with rat meat, though, so it's very nice of you.
Yeah, he's gonna squeeze that shit.
It'll protect you from whatever poison that rat's got.
And so they kind of start conversing with you, Daniel, a little bit as
yeah,
so
I'm picking up
you lost the
intel while
round,
I'm
but
here, you know.
you seem to be a good sport about it, and so you guys are kind of like chewing the fat a little bit now.
Yeah, I could be done with my round of... I want these guys' names, though. I want these guys' names when it comes back around.
Okay, give me some time. We'll have.
Yeah, that's why I'll wait.
All right,
These are my best
4 new
friends as far as I know.
NPCs. All right. Okay, Dektrin.
Yeah, so I've come down the stairs. I'm gonna spot Grom and sort of head over there and kind of sidle up to him and look at the sign. And what's happening, Grom? You rebranding something or other?
He goes, yeah, I don't know what it is, but these guys keep coming in, and I don't know what kind of establishment they think this is, but I think the name's giving people the wrong idea. This is a family joint. Even though no families come in here, but no, people are getting the wrong idea. I gotta change it.
So you're saying what kind of guys are these that come in here? Ruffians, nefarious folk, or what?
They just kind of had the wrong idea of what kind of a establishment I run. So
It's the feast of coming every day here.
Oh lord.
I'm gonna kind of scratch my beard and be like, so Grom, and if you heard any word from the organization yet about our upcoming assignment? I know that we all just joined, but kind of curious as to what's next, and wondering if you had any insight about that.
yeah, so I got word this morning from the big boss, Janandra, that there's going to be a job coming in later today. So you'll know when, on the brands that you got in all your hands when you went through the initiation ceremony, it'll start to burn and kind of tingle a little bit. And whenever you feel that in the future, come back here.
Okay.
And then, because what it's going to be is that Janandra was saying that this is going to be a petitioner. So she's actually going to come in and tell us about what she'd like us to do. And we'll talk about kind of how that goes when we have someone come in. Sometimes we just get a letter and we have to check it out. Sometimes we just check it out. It comes in different ways. In this case, the petitioner is going to come in here, and we'll sit her down at one of the tables. And I'll talk with her, and the rest of you will be able to question her, but she won't be able to see you for your own safety.
Of course.
I've got kind of some stuff that we rig up for cases like this. But she'll then ask us kind of like what her situation is and what she wants us to check out.
Interesting.
So, yep. So sounds like it's one of the women or one of the nuns that works at the local healing temple.
Good to know. Thank you, Grom. And I'm gonna leave Grom to his work. I'm gonna kind of move around the rest of my friends that are my compatriots, and I'm gonna tell them what Grom just told me, so that they all kind of know, and that I'm gonna end up, chat with Dalana, chat with Eli, chat with Riven, chat with Ingus, and I'm gonna end up sitting in this spot right here, kind of facing the door, as casually as I can try and be, to sit there and relax. So
Sounds good. Eli, what are you up to?
You'll find Eli sitting close to the fireplace, just relaxing for the morning. He appears to have out a fantastical-looking sword, which is most likely the hex blade. He just sounds like the guy on the train that's talking to a cell phone. Can't hear the other side of the conversation. He's very confused, talking about the Shadowland or Shadow Plane, trying to understand what's going on, but if you listened, you probably have no better idea than at the moment what he's trying to figure out. That's all he's doing.
Good. Ingus?
Well, as a recovering addict, the very bearded dwarf at the bar makes me a little bit sad. And as a clown, I want to cheer him up. So I'm going to go over to the bar, very nearby him. I'm going to climb up over the stool and onto the bar proper. And I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to cast Mage Hand to do some juggling, but with free hands. I'm going to pull out a piccolo, and I am going to offer him a positive rendition of what I interpret his soundtrack for the day is going to be. Try and cheer him up a little bit with some music.
So as you near him, the smell hits you first of someone that has not bathed in possibly forever.
Oh.
And you climb up onto the bar table and you kind of look at the dwarf who's busy guzzling ale of the empty tankards that he's got lined up in front of him. And his face looks more of just beard than actual face. So in this case, it's more like of a beard with eyes. So his mouth is somewhere in there, and you're guessing it's somewhere in where like the ale foam is covering his beard. And you go up in front of him, and you can see his eyes kind of squint, and the beard seems to come up to just under his eyes where the hair starts growing. And incoherently, he mumbles, "Hey, got you, Mogaja?"
I'd be like,
"That's about right."
And a great morning to you too, sir. How would you like some entertainment?
And you also notice that one of his eyes slowly begins to drift over, and then he kind of like comes back and then drifts off again.
There's a little...
Yeah, so he
smokes it right back into place.
He catches it.
Well, I'm going to try and like interpret what I think is the perfect melody to kind of like lift his spirits, but also like strike a chord with him in his soul.
Okay. So roll a performance to see how soul enlightening this is.
Let's see. 18 plus 5, so 23.
That is soul enlightening for sure. And so which is there a musical instrument you're using in this game?
I'm using a piccolo, which might just, if I was drunk in the morning, I would be so annoyed to hear that, but
it's very piercing.
It comes off really well right now. So the whole inn just rings with this beautiful piccolo music. It's pleasant for everyone, even those that don't like piccolos. And the dwarf puts down his ale and begins kind of clapping along, not to the beat, but he's trying. But he seems totally overjoyed and enthralled at your performance.
I changed somebody's day, and that's what Dungeons and Dragons is all about.
That's right.
Changing a fake person's day.
Changing imaginary lives, one dwarf at a time.
One piccolo at a time.
Well, that's my thing. Also, before I even came downstairs, I made sure to go through my whole like makeup routine, moisturize my face, put all the white makeup on, add the perfect swirlies, so I'm in like, because it's early morning, my clown makeup is as pristine as it could possibly be.
As it will be for the rest of the day, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. And then we'll go down to, so Riven, what are you up to?
All right, so I am going to go and take a seat at this table, and I'm going to say, Grom, do you have the latest news or gossip pages?
So he kind of finishes like hammering in that piece of wood that says the hungry gull and kind of charcoal markings, and he turns over to you and he goes, "The what?"
The news or the gossip pages?
No, just go to like talk. You might be able to like go buy one outside. I can't afford that. I'm sure there's some people outside that could sell you that stuff, but
I'll stand up kind of in a huff and go, "Then I shall sally forth." I'll saunter outside to try and find myself some reading material.
Okay, and you saunter outside and you are able to find some paper boys that are kind of like yelling out the latest news, on little pieces of parchment.
All right, now say, "You boy, what are you selling?"
"The week's stories, sir."
"It's Feast of Coming Day, sir."
It's the Feast of Coming Day.
I'll offer him 2 coppers for a paper.
'Tis the most joyous day of all.
I'll say 2 coppers, not a copper more.
"Oh, absolutely, sir. Thank you."
And I'll head back inside with my head held high to sit down and read my news and gossip pages.
It's the great feast of coming, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
That's all I'm picturing. Is just this
Yeah. Little fucking Charlie Brown looking
little fucking
asshole.
Charlie Brown.
And the morning drags on just like a little bit longer. And then after a while, you begin to feel kind of like that slow burning, kind of tingling sensation in the hands that you have branded.
The tingling sensation is fairly common at the full mast.
Yep, that's true.
Usually shows up a few weeks after you've been at the full mast.
I was gonna say, yeah.
the
regulars
the
know.
burning. Yeah, it starts as tingling, and then
your piss turns green. It's weird.
That's
Can
intense.
Daniel be like, oh shit, that must mean it's great luck? And can he throw another? Can he throw a gold piece in the mix of whatever the pot is for his little gambling trio or his quintet right now?
and so do you want to throw down a gold piece?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so you throw down a gold piece, and like the other four guys, Kevin, Graham, Craig, and Locke.
Okay, hold on.
Come at me, Kevin.
So these are your homeless informants.
Yeah, Kevin, Graham.
Graham, Craig, and Locke.
Like the name Craig or like a rocky crag? Like
Just Craig.
I'm spelling it. Yeah, I'm spelling it how.
It's weird.
Like a Craig you'd meet at the store.
For our viewers, there'll be a test later.
And the other four guys this guy goes, whoa, Danny, we're not those kind. We can't roll like that.
You put whatever you guys want.
That's a lot of money, man.
I love to gamble.
All right. I guess I'll throw in my rat.
Hell yeah.
eating like his half-eaten cooked rat.
There's going to be a rat. There's going to be 2 chewed shoes.
Nice.
And so much teeth.
Those
Yep.
gloves. I really want those gloves, to be honest.
A burlap hat that was probably made out of a sack of potatoes in the past.
Sick.
But it fits. It's well stitched.
I try it on. Oh, nice. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, okay.
The stitching on this burlap is top notch.
And one guy's going to be like, all right, I found this in the street. I thought it was cool, but I don't know what it is. But for gold, all right, Danny. And it looks like a shiny rock.
Whoa.
Looks like it's polished. But it's kind of like gray, but it seems to glisten more than average rocks.
It's literally a polished turd.
Yeah, can't wait to lose
It's-
this gold.
Petrified at least. Maybe it's a fossil.
One man's polished turd is another man's.
Gold
Polished
piece.
turd.
Gold
Still a
piece.
polished
Yeah.
turd.
All right, so we're rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see who's got God's eye. If anybody. Oh, there's a 1. Oh, he's out.
Oh, is he? Why did he? Oh, he got 2 ones.
Nope. So Craig got snake eyes, and he goes, "Oh no, my rat!"
Oh. He needed that rat.
All right, so Danny, what'd you get?
I got a 1 and a 2.
Oh wow. Okay, this was an exciting round. So let's see. Kevin got a 1 and a 4, which he was excited about until Locke rolled a 1 and a 6.
Lucky fucking bastard.
He goes, good game, guys, but to the winner go the spoils. And he takes the stuff, and he's pretty excited about this. And then Danny looks at you, and he goes, "Are you really sure?"
Mm-hmm.
He looks at with the gold piece.
Yeah, take it, bro.
Goes, "All right, hot meals all around tonight."
Aw.
Hell yeah.
That's what D&D is all about, spreading joy to fake people.
That's right.
That's also what the Feast of Coming is all about.
That's gonna keep coming up. Like that'll be like the special like Christmas edition. For,
Yeah,
like, next year.
I love
Is
that.
we'll have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All right, well, Daniel San will brushes fucking the dust off him or whatever, and he'll be like, "All right, dudes, same time tomorrow," and it'll turn a heel and start heading back to the shop.
All right, and all the 4 guys are like, nice meeting you, Danny. See you around.
You too,
Be safe out there.
Kevin, Graham, Locke, and Craig.
Remembered all their names. That's amazing.
Well, I wrote it down. I wrote down gambling buddies.
Yep, I've got them wrote down. So those are recurring NPCs now. They're
They're forever. Polished turds are forever.
And so everybody makes it back into the inn, and you can see that Grom quickly kind of goes back behind the counter, and you can see he pulls out what looks kind of like this, like really like thick, like gray candle, and like pulls over one of the tables and puts the candle like right in the middle. And he kind of calls everybody over and he goes, okay, so when somebody comes in with a job for us, how this works is that we bring them in, and I need you guys to leave the room for a bit. I'll light the candle, and then once it's lit, I'll start asking the petitioner about what they want, and then you can enter. So what the candle does is that it lets out some light that'll only go just around the table, but the petitioner won't be able to see past that. So you'll be able to see her, but she can't see you. And so this is to protect your guys' identities, because we don't know whether these petitioners are just trying to get a hold of us or whatnot. So does that kind of make sense? Everyone can just kind of hold back in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm going to point over, I guess, with my shoulder and be like, point at the dwarf, and I'm like, is he going to stay, or are you going to kick him out as well?
Oh, God, is Horace still here? Horace, get out of here. And you can see, like, the dwarf kind of looks over his bag and goes, haven't ya? And just, like, slams, like, the last couple ales that he has, and goes out and slowly, like, kind of stumbles out the door before kind of slamming on the door 2 times, and goes, ba-da-da, and walks out.
He's the...
That's the same dwarf from last time, right? That the potato dwarf?
Yep. So he's kind of like the company transport. Yeah.
Oh.
When he said Horace, I was like, wait a second, he's got a name.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he's hard to understand, but he does a good job of getting things through security.
Did I notice him being smelly as he walked past me out the door?
Yep. So the BO is strong with this one.
Well, he does manage a team of pigs to pull his cart. So
That's right.
He's a classy guy.
Oh, so the pigs are the smelly ones? It could just be him, you know?
Yeah, the pigs make him cleaner, I think. Okay, so he's a bad influence on them.
So what do our hands look like right now? So they were tingling.
I've got 5 fingers.
Well, yeah.
So they're tingling, and as you kind of look down at it, what kind of like started as like a very soft glow now is becoming kind of stronger and stronger. And Grom kind of like goes and kind of like shushes Alan back upstairs, and then closes the blinds to the windows and also kind of closes the door and puts the kind of closed sign up on the door so that other customers don't come in. And he goes, all right, I think the petitioner's close, so I need you guys just to kind of like go back into the kitchen, and then I'll call you out when we're ready.
I'm still juggling with my mage hand, but I'm done with the piccolo, and I go into the kitchen.
And so you guys are kind of back in the kitchen, and you can see that Fiona's busy kind of kneading some dough for bread for later in the evening.
I'll turn to her and I'll put my mouth to I'll go, shh. Which is funny because she doesn't talk.
Yeah.
That's mean.
Yeah, and she just kind of gives you a disdainful look because, yeah,
She chooses not to talk because of people like you, Daniel.
Like you.
Maybe that's it, yeah. From the kitchen, you can kind of hear like a door shut, and you can hear Grom's voice that goes, come in and sit down, and you kind of hear a woman's voice kind of mumble some stuff, and you kind of hear a stool being pulled out. And then you hear Grom's voice, and he says, agents, you can re-enter the room.
We do. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
And basically what you can see is that, again, there's like kind of like that thick gray candle that's on the middle of the table. Grom's on one side of the table, and on the other side, there's a woman in kind of like, looks like she has white robes on, kind of underneath what looks like some really kind of drab gray rags that she has over her. And she kind of pulls like the hood off, and she looks like a 20-something woman with kind of brown hair. That looks very, very distraught. From the candle in the middle of the table. Yep, so she's a human.
Okay.
From the candle, you can see there's a light glow that just extends maybe a couple feet beyond the edges of the table. And so that's probably where the drop-off is, of where, as Grom explained before, you can see her, but apparently she can't see you. And so as you enter, so Grom kind of begins to talk to her. And so Grom looks at her and goes, all right, please state your name and why you came to us. And so she explains and kind of introduces herself to Grom as Sister Alma. And so Sister Alma says that she's a part or was a part of a healing order that's called Mercy's Burden that works inside of the city of Bespophus. And the order has been there for hundreds of years, and they work as healers within the city. And that in their case, they're non-denominational. So they don't pick a side between the god Havgar or the god of Thaxelroth. And so they do not have divine energy in which to heal people in like the normal kind of clericy fashion. So they kind of go through a different route. They can heal through just kind of bandaging people and taking care of them until they heal naturally, or they can relieve people of the burden of pain. And how this works is that instead of healing a person, the wounds can be transferred from one to another.
Whoa.
Which is some people that work for the order are called the burdened, and they voluntarily take on the pain of others in order to lessen the suffering and pain in the world. And so people join the order for different reasons, but what she explains is that as the temple used to give away its healing services for free, now the temple has suddenly been demanding exorbitant fees for any healing and any services to anyone that enters. Whereas before it was anybody could come in and they would get healing for free, and the nuns and the monks working there would take care of you. Now, from the top down, you have to pay an unbelievable amount of money to even be looked at. And if you can't pay, in some cases, other things can be negotiated. And she kind of shudders at the thought of what some of those negotiated deals are, of what people may have to pay in order to heal their sick or injured loved ones. And so she's not exactly sure what changed this, but she knows that the two people that are kind of like of the head of the order, so a man called Father Solomon, and also another leader that's just under Father Solomon, Mother Senna, both seem to be implicit in charging people. And if other nuns and monks weren't okay with charging people, they were simply disbanded from the order. And so Alma explains that she was disbanded from the order, so she was kicked out because she didn't think it was right to charge people. So on top of people being charged a lot for healing, street healing has also been outlawed. And there's been murders of street healers happening in the city.
Oh.
And so she knows there's a man that works with the Children of Chaos, a man named Orton, who runs kind of like a smaller gang that he calls, and they call themselves the Street Reavers. She thinks that they're being paid somehow to kind of hunt down street healers so that they can lock down and basically have a monopoly on all healing. So the Children of Chaos are kind of like a loosely organized militia of mostly half-Orcan descent that believe that they should rule by basically might makes right. And so they're very anti-magic, they're very kind of anti-strict laws, but they see it, instead of chaos, they see it more as freedom. But the thing is, with that, they also can change the laws and change the rules at their whim. And so it's very chaotic, as a lot of times the laws are changed to favor usually the Children of Chaos themselves. And they're largely seen as thugs within the city, but they are currently in control of the city of Despothus.
So Orton is the head of the gang that hunts down street healers?
The Street Reavers, yeah.
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly.
We wouldn't want to falsely impugn him.
Yeah, Your Honor, allegedly.
Yeah.
Can we just take a second to appreciate this method of healing? Like, we had a broken arm. Who wants a broken arm? Like, anyone up for herpes today?
Me, I love it, me.
There's some that are very pure of heart that just want to do good in the world.
Yeah.
Or real masochistic.
Oh, yeah.
Alma kind of explains her case that there's this, horrible thing happening within her order. It's kind of been completely changed, and she's not really sure why. But the biggest thing is that street healers that are trying to help people for free on their own are being killed in the streets, or are just disappearing completely. And she believes that this man named Orton that runs the Street Reavers. So all of you are kind of standing around. She can't see you, but she could still hear you. So if you have any questions for her.
Do you know where, does Orton have, and his militia have a headquarters or something? Do we know where they reside typically?
And so she shakes her head and she goes, no, I don't know where they're headquartered. It's probably somewhere hidden.
Ingus, by the way, I'm the disembodied voice you're hearing. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She can't see you, but you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, and say your name so she knows your name. Right.
Your full name.
Yeah, here's my social security number.
Yeah.
My credit card number. My weaknesses.
Yeah. I'm terrible at the secret thing. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, you're gonna dox everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So funny.
Grom puts out the candle. At this point, you've introduced yourselves just to see each other. Just like, come on, just like, what's the point of this thing?
We actually have to kill the nun now that she knows who we are.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Sister, I have a question for you. As far as you know, these street healers that have been killed by these street Reavers, as they were, is there any location? Is it all over the city? Any street healer that pops up? Is there a time frame?
and she goes, the street Reavers are pretty much kind of named after what they do, so they're kind of like the arm of the Children of Chaos that kind of enacts their own street justice as they see fit. And so there's been murders in pure daylight because all we have are other Children of Chaos as kind of the policing force right now, and they just turn a blind eye to it because they agree with it. Sometimes the bodies of the dead are left, sometimes they take the bodies. I'm not sure why, but it seems to happen during all times. They don't even wait for the cover of night. They do it right out in the open, and they make sure people see it.
So how long ago did they change their policy? How long has it been that now that they're charging? Is it...
We started charging small amounts maybe 5 weeks ago, and then it just slowly became more and more and more. It was gradual. I was kicked out just last week. The prices just slowly grew more and more every day. And Mother Senna and Father Solomon grew more and more dark.
How long have Father Solomon and Mother Senna been in charge at this thing?
Years. Both of them are much older than I am. They're both great, and
Do we know how they're connected to Orton?
I don't know if they're connected.
Oh.
But it seems like there must be some, but it seems unimaginable that two such, loving people that were so loving and selfless in the past would suddenly turn so cold. I don't know what happened to them. But this all seemed to happen together around the same time, that the Reavers were taking out street healers right around the same time that we began charging.
Could we get an audience with Mother Senna or Father Solomon?
I highly doubt it. They don't even let anyone go into the temple unless you strike a deal with them. They even have an old money lender that works the front door and actually negotiates with the sick and injured at the front to see if he can strike a deal, and then they're let in.
What's that guy's name?
Some fat clown named Orlando Cheville. Orlando.
Okay, cool.
So what would you say is the biggest threat right now? Is it Orton killing the street healers, or the fact that the organization has been so overrun with this money problem?
There are people that I know that have been killed in the streets by trying to help people once they've been kicked out of the temple. I need you to kill or stop. She kind of stops herself and backs up a little bit to stop Orton from murdering people. He is the one that needs to be stopped first and foremost. And maybe if you can find and encounter him, it may shed some light on what happened to my beautiful order.
A quick question. You said that you've seen this happen. How many members of these Reaver dudes usually show up to rough up the healers?
It varies. They at least come in pairs to watch each other's backs. Up to gangs of 6 I've seen. But they're never alone.
And does Orton himself, does he appear with them?
So Orton usually appears in larger crowds, or in larger groups of them. I think he's kind of a coward, but he's the more of the brains behind him.
I see.
I got some ideas, guys. We could get this no problem.
Totally.
Yeah.
Sister, I appreciate your willingness to come forward and seek us out. I can't imagine it's easy. I'm sorry for the loss of your fellow healers, but know that we will take care of this. Do not fear anymore. But first and foremost, stay safe yourself. Do not go out. Do not try and heal. Do not risk yourself. We will take care of this, but do not put your own life on the line.
Totally. We got this.
And she kind of nods her head, and she kind of wipes away for some tears, and she goes, "Thank you. Your order is a blessing on the world."
You want a bowl of soup?
It is the day of coming.
I'm sure we can get you a complimentary bowl of soup.
Would I like a bowl of soup? And she's kind of looking into the probably darkness of what she can see. She's turning towards where she can hear your voice. And then you can see Grom on the table just going
It's good soup. I eat 6 bowls every morning.
And he turns over his shoulder and
Or
goes,
maybe-
"Soup?"
Don't worry about it. We'll take good care of you, Alma.
Yeah, we'll kill that guy.
Come for the vengeance, stay for the soup.
We don't piss on hospitality, all right? I won't allow it. Okay, come on.
So, what is like the best place to find an interaction with these people? Oh yeah, Daniel said he had an idea.
Oh, well, yeah, Daniel's got a plan.
Oh my god.
Well, let's hear it.
Daniel knows how to deal with street gangs, yeah.
Is Alma still here? Are we just like talking and she's still right there?
So Alma's still here, but
Oh.
she'll kind of like say like what some of her ideas are. So just like kind of some things to chew on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Please.
So
yeah.
some clues that might help you out in hunting them down is that the street Reavers, they wear blue capes that is the same kind of color that as like the Children of Chaos use, but they all usually wear studded leather with golden studs. So black leather with golden studs.
They're bougie.
Yeah, so
And blue
they
capes.
try to kind of show off a little bit like that.
They got that healthcare money.
Yeah.
So you could try finding some of those on the streets. Please be careful if you try that. I know you're all very capable, but I've had a lot of friends be killed out in the streets. You could try talking to Orlando, shaking down him for information. He's a very smart man, but I think his alliance lies with no one. He's only motivated by money.
Money? Anything else?
I'm not sure. I shudder to think of the other things that motivates a man like that.
Perhaps boobies?
We'll find out.
Boobies?
Do you like
Would they be
boobies?
interested in coming to the full staff?
So before Alma leaves, she goes, "Do you have any other questions for me, agents?"
Do you have a callback number or
Who do I send the pigeon?
just in case like I forgot I think of something later?
Can I talk to your manager?
So
To make sure that I understand everything, your former place of employment, this
It's the Sisters of Burden.
Mercy's Burden.
it's called Mercy's
Mercy's
Burden.
Burden.
Right, that's what it was.
Oh, sorry, I know how to remember things.
Mercy's Burden, in your experience, is it that the murders of the street heroes, have those taken place around the location? Or is it that the street reavers are just anywhere there's a healer on the street? As far as you know, from what you've seen, from what you've heard, I'm just trying to understand how best to get these murderers. I would like to know as much as I can about them to figure out where they are. Any information at this point would be much appreciated about operations and logistics, movements, and whatnot.
Absolutely. So the temple is here in the Docks district, just kind of down the street, around the corner, and a couple turns down. The murders first began very close to the temple, since they were simply some of our healers that disagreed with charging for our services, so they simply went out in the streets to do it as protest. And that's when the attack started, and then also the murders started. After that, the other healers decided to try to go further out from the temple to kind of get away from the patrols and whatnot. And some got away, but in some cases they were caught, or in some cases were even set up. So I believe that Orton is set up in the Docks district, in this area, since this is where our temple is located.
It all started taking place 5 weeks ago. The murders happened, Sister Senna and Father Solomon changed.
So we started charging about 5 weeks ago.
Right.
And it was about a week after that some of us protested and decided to do our own thing. And a few days afterwards, the street reavers started attacking those that tried to take our healing into our own hands.
Are there any like pockets of the city that are sort of known on the underground as places where like healers that are still active would be doing their healing? Like, are there like known places that we should be focusing on?
And so she says that it would probably still be closest to the temple, or in like the alleyways between the different kind of ramparts next to the temple. So the temple is extremely old, and it is just kind of like patchwork at this point. And in the alleys surrounding it is probably where they still patrol the most, since they know that other disbanded kind of priests and nuns would try to do their work close to their headquarters.
So her white schmuck, does it have any identifying symbols on it?
Not in this case, no. So she probably got rid of, it just seems like a plain white, and you can see that it's got some stains on it at this point. But she seems to have removed any identifying brooches or whatnot. And she doesn't wear any jewelry, she's very modest.
Does she have any like physical indications that she's like taken on other people's pain? Like she's one of those like healers. Does she have like wrinkled skin or like scars, or does she seem sickly?
So she's not. So again, she's probably like a 20-something, and she seems like she's in perfect health.
She could have been one of the healers that operated traditionally in terms of bandages and treating wounds in that regard instead of taking on the burdens herself, right?
She'd let the other people take the gonorrhea.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I mean, they offered to do it.
That's kind of how it works.
Is that the immaculate infection?
Immaculate infection.
Disgusting.
Oh god.
Just trying to understand this.
The
brilliant.
Oh, you understand it. You get it.
I need to write the words immaculate infection down because that has to be a thing.
That's a fucking band name. Right
It's
there.
the
That's a
name of the
punk band.
episode now.
That's a band.
All right. Well, I think that we can like resolve things with Alma, you know, promise her that we're going to do everything we can and tell her, like Dex said, to stay safe. And if she doesn't feel safe, to let us know and we will take care of this.
Yeah.
He goes, "Thank you, agents, and please take care."
You too, dude.
No soup
Stay
for
safe,
you.
sister.
And so she stands up and just kind of like puts like her hood up over and then goes out the door. And Grom just licks his fingers and then puts out the candle once she leaves. And he turns over and looks at you, Ingus, and goes, "Soup? Soup?
We're a restaurant. You serve soup.
She didn't come in here for soup."
But it's good soup.
I don't
You
know.
won't come
Plus,
to the
you would
full
offer a
smash for the
refreshment first.
soup.
You're not going to offer soup
Yeah.
like an entree to begin with?
What am I, some kind of caveman?
Was anyone else thinking that had she turned around, she could have seen us? Because I assume the radius of the candle is. Am I the only one thinking?
Nah,
that?
she left. She left before he put out the
I know, but I'm saying, what if the candle was still lit? Correct.
We
were on the
jumped
other
the
side of
bar
it.
and beat her
Yeah,
up.
That's a good point. But yeah, so she was able to
That was
leave
right.
the room and did not
It's in the
see
script.
anyone.
It's in the script.
If
Like,
you
whatever.
turn to page 25.
Of course.
Yeah, it's right there. The whole thing happened.
Yeah.
It was right there.
Wait. So you guys actually read my script? Oh my god.
No.
Never.
No. Jake, ugh.
This is all I've wanted for months.
I know this is a fantasy game, but like, it's not that kind. Yeah, Daniel turns and he goes, "Guys, I got a plan. We're gonna fake a street healer type of situation, and we're gonna draw some of these assholes out. Cause she said they only come in like groups of 6, and last I counted, there's 6 of us, which is that's exactly the same.
Numbers wise, you're correct.
I think so too. And so like, I think we could totally at least mano a mano beat the hell out of these guys.
We have to keep one alive to like torture and interrogate so that we know how
Oh,
to-
100%.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, we're gonna dunk his head in some like street trough water until we get some information and stuff.
We're gonna Dick Cheney this son of a bitch.
Yeah, we're gonna medieval swirly this asshole.
We could be very set up in that like we have like snipers in the sky ready.
Oh, 100%. Guys, see that we got 2 shooters in our crew. We got Dell and we got Ingus. So I figured we'll set you up on like a rooftop someplace, like overlooking like a crossroads, and then we'll definitely have Dek situated as like the healer role.
Indeed.
And then whoever wants to be the fibber in the sense of like the sick dude can like totally be that person, and then we'll have our other fighters on the wayside and like ready to just start engaging.
So we have ranged fighters prepare to attack, and then let's have like one person run into like a main street being like, "Oh my god, my friend is injured. Can somebody help?" And then
Get him in 2s.
yeah, like do a little performance because I'm a clown. I think that should.
Oh,
happen.
we have a rogue. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Kurt, you got right. Who's the rogue?
Riven
Me
and Dell.
and
We're both rovers.
Well, yeah, but you're gonna be
Make this work.
sitting. Dell, I think, should be sitting on a rooftop with the bow because you got a bow, right?
You got a bow now, yeah.
And like, what's your what's your character's dexterity? Like better than their
12.
strength, I assume.
Better than the strength, yeah. Mhm.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, so definitely ranged is gonna be the way to go for you.
And then someone will be like, "Oh, can you help my friend? Can you help my friend?" And then Deck will come up and be like, "I can help you."
I am a street healer.
I am a street
Call an
healer, of
ambulance.
course. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that maybe if we're going to split up in pairs like this, we have Dalana and Ingus overlooking position. We have Riven and Eli in a similar situation between, not as far as our overlook, but close enough. And it is you and I, Daniel. You be the one sick, I be the healer. As the two of us, we're probably the most close-range fighters. If we can draw as many of these guys to us, maybe we can catch them off guard. And it'll give our teammates time to either shoot down on our enemies or get in range so they can attack as well.
For the record, I'm much better with a bow than a rapier. Like, a lot better.
Totally. If we had, like, I mean, everyone can shoot shit if you got it. Like, that's fine.
Shoot him if you got him.
Yeah, shoot him if you got him. So yeah, so you three can like maybe set up in like even different, maybe the same rooftop would be best, just for the sake of like in case one goes down, you guys can help each other up.
What are your? I mean, this is like a meta question, but what are your guys? Who's got like the best performance checks right now?
I mean, I have. It's +3 is what I have.
I have a +5, so I should obviously be the star of this production.
I mean,
Yeah.
with the orcs, are they stupid? Are they gonna even experience the nuance of a performance, or are they idiots?
Or are they just gonna fall into the bear trap?
Every performance I have, whether it's to murder somebody or just to entertain an audience, it's nuanced, guaranteed.
Okay.
A year and a half of clown
Clowns are
training.
all about nuance.
Although tactically, it's the most dangerous to have you on the ground, just because. Right. And the best is to have Daniel because he doesn't have to pick up a weapon to start fighting.
I have a weapon.
Yeah. Fighting.
And he's already been injured enough times that it's pretty natural for him to know how to react.
That's pretty savage.
Channel the moment that the giant hermit crab clamped your ankle in half.
It almost did. It was right there.
Maybe we should check out this place, find a place.
Oh, we're gonna scope it out.
Yeah.
I made some friends like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I'll ask them about like some good spots, some good like
Totally.
ambush points. I'm sure they know what's up. Craig looks shady.
Should we have a designated kidnapper, someone who comes out and just like nabs one of them, ties them up with a rope, so that'll be the one that we like interrogate, or should we just kill
I think I have like stunning palm as like a monk thing.
Yeah.
kill him down and see who's left? Yeah, cool. So we're ready to take on a group of up to six of these guys, and we will kidnap and torture one of them until they give us more information.
I don't think we have to torture. We just need to ask questions.
Yeah, in a torturous method. So
What's Grom's face look like as we're discussing all this? Is he impressed with us, or is he?
Oh yeah.
He's just going behind the bar and he's like, all right, this is up to you, agents. So you're the chosen ones.
Before we go, what is the probability of, let's say, what happens if we get Orton? Is the plan, if Orton is one of the men, if we just, instead of have the designated torture person, we just murder them?
I think he's a kidnap also because he's going to have information about all of this stuff.
Right. He's a high value target, basically, even more so than the base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just try not to kill him outright. But if he dies, he dies.
No skin off my knuckles, dude.
But doesn't he only go out with big groups? Like, he wouldn't be
big
with
ones
6
is what he
people.
said.
He would be with a lot more.
Potentially, yeah, I would say.
But it's probably easier to tie up one of his underlings than
To
the man himself.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna turn to Grom and ask him if we manage to capture Orton, should we bring him back here?
That seems like that would be compromising the place.
And he goes,
know?
whoa,
Yeah.
no. You take care of your business out there. Do not bring
Yeah.
high
messy.
value marks here.
And we do not offer
Yeah.
him soup.
No, not
That's
Apparently, we don't offer
Nobody.
anyone soup.
don't offer him soup.
I studied clowning for a year and a half. So
Let's do some kidnapping.
this is the education I bring.
One more thing. Does anyone want to go talk to this moneylender dude? I feel like we should ask him
we
some
will.
questions.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
I think that we could do like a series of events. Like what I think is a good idea is like we hunt down Orton, or at least find out where Orton is. We kick his shit in, get information, then we go back to the clinic spot and be like, yo, here's this dirt that we got on you. And then we start like just smacking them with like evidence and, scrolls and garbage. And then
That's a
we
good
beat
point.
them up probably too. Just, because that's the way it goes. We beat the hell out of them, and then we bring Sister Alma back in to fucking fix it up or whatever. Let me hit up my boys, see what they got going on in terms of some ideas, and I'll be right back, guys. And Daniel will walk outside the front doors, hook a left, and then hit that first alley. We'll assume that they're still there gambling.
So 2 of them are hanging out at this point. So you've got Graham and Craig
Cool.
are still there, and they're they're just kind of
Oh,
shooting
Locke
the
took
shit.
his winnings because Locke got the gold piece.
Oh,
right
he's
there.
gone.
Mhm.
Yeah, his life is different now.
He's gonna go buy dinner for everybody, right? He's gonna, like,
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll walk up. I'll be like, "Hey, dudes."
Oh, hey, Danny.
I love that they're already calling him Danny from the jump. Like, I love that it
Yeah.
was like
Oh, yeah.
Daniel, and then it's immediate like Danny, my man. Like, it was.
Because my friends call me
Danny.
Danny.
Does your character actually have good charisma?
It doesn't matter. 1 gold buys you a lot these
That's
days.
true.
It's
There it
Christmas
is.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's an
that's true.
awfully
People will
generous
respect you
young
for
man.
money.
Yeah, it's charisma 10. So he's got no negatives, he's got no positive. He's very average. But yeah. He says, well, dudes, I got a question for you. So I've been hearing around town that there's like some healers that have been getting roughed up and like murdered in the streets and shit. And I know that they like do it free of charge. So I wasn't sure if you guys, either like been to them before or knew of like some hot spots that they like set up shop at.
Oh, you mean those Mercy folks?
No, not the ones like at the clinic or whatever. These guys are just like on the streets, like they're freelance.
Oh, there's different kind of like priests and healers that kind of like run around sometimes.
Okay,
I hear
alright.
I hear they've been getting whacked recently though. I saw one get hauled off the other day.
Interesting. By those what are they called? Reavers, right?
Some freaking goons that call themselves the Street Reavers. They think they're all tough with their
Yeah.
black leather with gold studs. They think they look intimidating.
When they say street reavers, I spit on the like a yeah, those bastards.
These streets are ours. They just don't know it.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm with you there. Well, like I've been, just what's about their area of operations? Like they stick closer to the docks, not the reavers, but like the healers. Like you hear mostly like getting like whacked at the docks or like more inner city.
They kind of get whacked all over. I mean, there's no real spot in particular. Usually, when someone's hurting, they'll obviously stay put, and then someone kind of goes out and tries to find one. They just kind of make the rounds. Most of the time, back in the old days, a couple months ago, we would just go to that Mercy temple, and they would just kind of take care of it for free.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the tips, guys. I'll come back to clean you out of your pocketbooks next time.
Yeah, sure, Danny.
I know I'm 0 for 2, but like that Lady Luck is fickle, So I'll say sayonara, dudes, and then I'll head back to the party in the bar, and I will just let them know. I'll tell the crew. I'll be like, yeah, they didn't really have a designated area, but if we just start causing a ruckus about being street healers, we're gonna get some baddies to show up. Oh, wait, hold on. And I walk back out, I hook a left, I go down to the alley, and I say, hey, guys.
Back so soon.
I know, I just can't stay away from the game. But what I really wanted, I had another question that I just spaced my mind. You guys know of like some good staging points for ambushes here in town?
Craig comes in a little closer. He goes, you gonna try to get back at the Reavers?
We're gonna try and get dastardly, if you know what I mean.
So you're looking for some choke points, huh? What do you think, Graham? And so they're kind of like talking to each other.
I was gonna say,
And they're
like, I want to be there with them. I would be like, yeah, we need like some positions for some ranged snipers. We need some potentially a crowd so that we can have our own fella on the inside ready to start flanking when the time comes. Potentially a nice clear street side for the sense of like, so our rangers don't get anyone caught in the crossfire. But definitely like some busy sidewalk kind of shit. Like you guys got a pier, with like carnival games and like, that kind of shit going on around here.
Carnival games.
You
in
got
the
Kevin.
docks? No.
No, well, you guys got like a portside bazaar type of situation.
There's a bazaar, but that's all just got like different stands. You wouldn't be able to post up anybody. You'd probably want to go back into where people live and just kind of some of the shacks that people have built. There's little alleys all over the place.
Okay, all right, I can get behind that.
And so they kind of describe a place that's like maybe just like a couple like blocks down like one of the main roads from where Grom's Inn is. And he says that there's an alleyway right next to kind of a large blue house.
Large blue house.
And by large blue house, he means like kind of large blue colored like shanty shack, basically.
Like shit shack? All right.
Yeah, so this isn't a very wealthy district. But if you go back there's a whole bunch of shacks that are really closely put together, and there's an alleyway right there. And it goes off of one of like the main drags. So you might be able to get some of them to follow you into that alley, and then you could ambush them in there.
And go from there. I like the way you think, fella. All right. Well, thanks again, dudes. I promise this time I probably won't be back immediately. But y'all stay safe out there, all right? Just make sure you keep the money in your pocket so I got a chance to win it from you. You know what I'm saying?
Graham kind of laughs. He's like, well, I got to get new shoes first. And like he looks down and he's got 2 bare feet and one of his hands doesn't have a glove on.
Hey, that's the way the news goes, right? But again, sayonara, bros. And then I'll turn my heel and head back to the bar. I'll be like, okay, guys, so for reals this time, I got a spot.
Does someone have like a cloak or something like that? Because the thing is, I'm thinking about it. It's like, I assume that when the trap is sprung, I'll start fighting, right? I don't really want to take off my armor and be naked or, just have clothes on. I'd prefer to have something that sort of gives the illusion of, I'm just a random monk, but like I pull the armor. Like
I
have
do
a cloak.
a disguise
You can
kit.
borrow my big
I don't
gray
know what's
cloak.
in there. Probably like a wig, maybe.
What color are the bed sheets upstairs where we sleep? You can just grab a white bed sheet and wrap it around.
Yeah, can we just ask Grom?
They're an off-white stained with brown.
Does the inn have a lost and found that just has like some jackets left over or some shit? Like, hey Grom, you guys got like some robes or some shit?
No.
All right, thanks. So I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna try and fucking find the nearest clothing shop.
Deck, you can just borrow mine.
All right. Thank you. As we walk, yeah, I'll put it on over my gear right now.
Yes, we are making our way to the prime alley right now.
I'll take my bandana off, but I will put it in a way that it's actually making it look like I have an eye patch.
Oh, yeah.
So that way it looks like I have a wounded eye, and I'll be like, oh man, and I'll
Good
hold my
touch.
face when I talk to them.
I'll probably follow. So my goal is I'll be in the crowd, and then when I see them start filtering in, I'll close the door off on them.
And I mean, also, if you're a mid-distance away, Eli, you can theoretically, you have that range attack, right? So you can like maybe pepper them a little bit and then push forward, so it's like you can still deal damage no matter what range you are, which would be...
Well, we'll see. I guess we can see what happens. I'll be on the ground either way.
If I'm on a roof or something, I can still cast sleep down at them.
Yeah.
Still inspire from the roof. Can you be the fiddler on the roof for us then? Is that taking it too far? That's taking it too far.
I'm the piccoloist on the roof.
The piccoloist.
Closed on the roof. Yeah, it's a sequel.
Personally, I'm a big fan of your Dissonant Whispers.
Yeah, I like that too.
That is a fun spell.
I mean, not from the receiving end. That's not very.
That can be used in like a torture scenario too,
I love how you guys are so focused on like torture. Like we're supposed to be like the good guys, and like everyone's like, of course we're gonna torture them. Like, come on.
That's there's no question of that.
I mean,
It is.
they're
But we
dead.
could just ask
It's
them
just-
first. I mean, they may tell us what we
Right.
want. Just asking them.
It's your choice to avoid torture.
Yeah. Is anybody really good at intimidate?
I have a +1.
I have a +4.
+3.
I got a +5.
Have a +6.
Ooh.
Oh Lord,
I'm the scary
you guys
person
are
here.
Terrifying.
Nice.
Okay.
So as you close them off in the alleyway, you'll say some scary ass shit to them.
So I got a +5 to persuasion, so you can be the bad cop and I'll be the good cop.
And Dalana can be the boob cop. Just-
I'll be the
Boob
boob
cop.
cop. I'll persuade
Yes,
you
that's the
boobs
legend.
are
Only
great.
OnlyFans.
We all need
I mean,
one. Yeah, every
It
party
won't be
needs
that
one.
hard.
So yeah, how long does it take us to get to the destination?
It would maybe be like 10 or 15 minutes. It's like down the road, and Graham and Craig kind of explained to Danny kind of where it is, and you guys it'll be pretty easy to find like the blue house.
Is it like a thatched roof or is it like a flat roof that we can duck down on, or what are we looking at?
So as you walk up to it, it looks like it's mostly in this part. It varies kind of by where you're at. In this part, it's mostly looks like wooden shingles, and it is
Yeah.
pitched. And by wooden shingles, it's like just like kind of slabs of wood, some of like old boat parts that are like stacked in together.
Oh, no.
And so some are like longer than others, and some of it's in thatched in parts. But again, it's mostly just like ramshackle.
But pitched kind of means that like it's angled in a way that if we're just on the roof, someone can see that we're there.
You can see.
Yes, unless you're on the other
No,
side.
if you're on the backside.
Yeah, if you're down the
So
way.
it is where it's
Yeah.
where
And they're
it's
on the
pitched
other
this
side.
way, so you could be behind. So it's pitched with like the slant coming towards the street. So on the map, And I've got kind of like a little
Oh, I love
poorly
it.
drawn
I like it
alley
a lot.
It's
just for
beautiful.
some sort of reference of where everything is.
We just stepped into the first draft of a Dr. Seuss book.
This map makes my heart happy.
This is high school quality.
So it is a 10-foot alley that is just dirt, and there's also a donkey lassoed up outside one of the houses.
Oh, we're literally going to be ambushing someone in front of where people live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
These healers get murdered in the streets, dude. Like, whatever.
Do we get more experience points if the donkey survives or if he dies? Just so
we won't know
collect-
till the
Um,
end.
Don't kill him.
That might unlock an achievement if the donkey stays alive.
I'll be sad if that donkey dies.
Noted.
Me too.
Just protecting the innocents.
Animal lover. Achievement unlocked.
And then
So
also on
funny.
the main street that your guys are on has like every once in a while there'll be like a passerby, so it's kind of like a somewhat not busy street, but there'll be like a person or two that passes by every like minute or so.
I want to try and I want to knock on the doors of the place down this alleyway, and I want to tell them like, "Hey, stay inside."
There's going to be gang violence out here.
I'm sure they all hate the Children of Chaos, so if you imply that we're killing half-orcs, they'll be fine with it.
Yeah, there's gonna be some heavy shit with those chaos guys, and you don't want to be around for it.
Roll persuasion.
Oh, okay.
Or unless you want to intimidate them into staying in their houses. It's kind of up to you about how you go about it.
Yeah, I'd rather persuasion it because I'm not trying to like intimidate them or anything. I'm just trying to actually like
Okay.
be like, yo, like,
Okay.
wanna be a part of
Should we join in and help you with this?
it.
Yeah, kinda all
I
split
wish you
out.
would.
Yeah, one person can. I mean, or if someone's better at persuading, Daniel, you can like help. You can aid someone to give them advantage on their roll if someone else.
Yeah, I'd love
is,
to
like,
aid
maybe a
someone
better-
to get advantage on their roll.
I'll go with Daniel. We'll be like two Mormon boys knocking on the door.
Yeah. Have you heard the good
Okay.
news of staying the fuck inside?
Hello. Please stay the fuck inside.
We're gonna be murdering some people outside for a bit. Just don't worry about it. The donkey will be fine.
Does that give him advantage, or are we both rolling?
The one person has advantage, so like one person would be aiding the other, and I'll just say that you'll both kind of just like talk with the person. So whoever has the highest will have advantage, so they'll roll twice and take the better.
Does either of you have persuasion?
I have five for persuasion, so.
The clown is like, please stay inside while we murder everybody.
Okay.
I rolled with my +5 a 19 total.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and Daniel's doing like some real like non-verbal motions like, yeah, like don't fucking
Even if you hear screaming, please stay inside.
Yeah, so Ingus, how are you gonna like kind of present this to people? So there's like a couple like older folks, and there's a couple like kind of like disgruntled like fishermen that are living there that are a bit younger.
First of all, I'm going to crawl up onto Daniel's shoulder to be as like adorable as possible.
Yeah, I got him like a parrot on my arm.
I'll be like mage handing, doing some juggling on the side to be entertaining. I'll have the biggest smile possible on my face and be like, hello. As one of your neighbors, something's about to go down in a few minutes, and you would be safest and happiest if you didn't come outside no matter what you heard. And have a good
If you
day.
stay inside while I murder my enemies, I'll juggle for you some more.
Okay, and the people between the old ladies and kind of the younger, even the gruffer guys, kind of like look at you and they kind of look at your makeup and your outfit, and they're like, okay. And they just like slowly like close the door. Like some of them kind of look like mad in the beginning, but you have a very good way with words.
Do you hear like the locks and shit like
It's just yeah, and all the locks and just pushing the furniture up against the door.
And then
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of what the fuck?
Yeah,
honey, there's a clown outside.
you can see some people peeking out through the windows. So some of these have like little windows, so you see people kind of
I'll wave
some
at them.
people peeking. Okay, and then they quickly like shut it as if you didn't see them, and then maybe peek it open a little bit more. But it seems like everyone's going to comply.
Potentially stay
They're like,
indoors.
okay, they didn't ask any questions either. Sometimes stuff just happens in the alleys. You don't want to argue with a clown that comes door to door.
No one asked whose donkey that was, though? You guys didn't ask him about the donkey? Like, whose donkey is that?
Oh, should we have told them to pull the donkey inside?
Could you
don't
please
know.
pull the donkey?
Maybe they don't care about donkeys.
I mean, it's like roped to a post outside. So, I mean, they're probably going to think if you need to take care of business that the donkey should be fine.
Donkeys, they build them Ford tough, you know?
I will throw my life down for that donkey.
The people that live at the house that has the donkey tied up do not seem overly concerned at all about the donkey.
Oh, we're going to bring it back to the full mast later. It's my pet now.
Yep, you can take care of your business, but they trust that you'll leave that the donkey will be okay.
You can kill whoever you want, just leave the donkey alone.
Hey, just leave our donkey alone. Those are expensive. They cost like 20 gold or something, I think.
In high school, I would always save a little extra money to spend on an animal of some sort, and it would be dead within 30 minutes of the first game.
Of course.
Animal companions are tough.
Riven, should we each pick a side of the alley and climb up a building?
Yeah, I'm gonna climb up and I'm gonna try and disguise myself on the thatched rooftop. Kind of blend in a little.
Okay, so roll to climb. Does anybody want to give them a boost or something? So you can't really like grab onto it, so someone would need to give you like a boost up to be able to get onto the roof, but it shouldn't be too difficult once you get up there.
I'm 3 feet tall, so my boost won't do much.
18 plus... Yeah, I'm climbing up. I rolled a 23.
Oh god, okay, and so you easily get up on top of the roof.
Should I roll to hide?
Yes. Roll stealth.
I'm gonna do it. 15 plus 5, 20.
Alright, so you are hidden with a 20.
I'm going to do the exact same thing, but on the opposite building of him.
All right, I'll help him out as well. Help him out. So.
Okay, and so Deck will boost Ingus up onto the shack that is across the alleyway from where Riven's posted up. All right.
And I'm going to do a stealth check to try to hide. Have a +3 to stealth, so 17.
Okay, and then roll athletics with advantage, even though Deck gave you a boost.
Oh, right,
just
to get my ass up there. Athletics, so it's 14 total.
Okay, and that's enough to be able to get onto the side. And as you kind of climb up, like some of the shingles actually come out as you're trying to climb up it, but you find some sturdy ones and get up there. And you are now hidden behind
among the roof.
Two people posted.
And I'm gonna poke out from my thatch and go, Ingus, who I shoot, you shoot. Focus fire.
Is that something you read about in the gossip columns, Riven?
Always focus fire.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get up on the same side as Riven here, because I don't want to accidentally shoot the donkey.
That's true. I understand.
Find your own thatch. God.
I rolled an at 1.
Well, that's okay, because Deck and I both...
God.
No, because Deck and I both are helping you up.
Wait, Dalana, what were you trying to do? Was that a climb?
But yeah, you have advantage if they're helping you. So roll another one.
Okay, so I get to roll again then?
Yeah, roll a different... Yeah, roll another one.
Oh, great. Even better. 3 plus 3, 6.
Just
perfect.
Slapping at the wall of the...
Or wait, yeah.
You like grab some of the shingles and the shingles come out of the roof and then you fall back flat on your back. And some of the people that are... A woman comes up to you on the road and she comes up to people that are trying to climb the roof and she goes, "What are you doing? That's not your house."
I'm gonna walk up to her and say, "There's nothing to see here."
Official
That's
business.
fine. I'm
their
not even
house.
hurt.
What
I'm
are you
not
doing?
even hurt. Like, I'm fine and I don't need help, you know?
She was in a sex cult.
Eli, would you like to intimidate her to mind her own business? Or would someone like to persuade her or lie? You guys can go about this how you'd like.
I'm gonna persuade her that I'm totally fine.
Okay.
The thing about Bez Bovis is that it's ravaged with like people addicted to that ricochet drug, which like it makes
She's
you
on the Rickies.
slumpy like heroin at first, and then you go into this like rage or whatever. So people probably just think that the Dalana falling off a roof is just that she's high as hell.
It's just...
All right, I'll play that angle.
It's...
Jedi business. Go back to your drinks.
Mind trick. Nothing to see here.
I rolled,
This roof is not your concern.
9 plus my persuasion, 16.
Okay, so it goes over pretty well, but what kind of angle do you want to take?
I'm on Ricky.
How you explain this?
Like, I'm totally fine. Like, I just, I've had a rough morning and, like, I forgot to, like, take my pills. Don't worry about me. Kind of get, my voice gets higher and higher and higher, maybe making her, like,
Definitely think that you're
uncomfortable,
fucking...
I guess, maybe.
You're Rick rolling.
Yeah, that I'm, like, gonna go crazy.
She just kind of nods slowly and, like, backs up a little bit, and she goes, You take care. And then she just saunters quickly, like slowly at first, but then quickly down the road.
This is not the Ricky user you're looking for.
Nope.
Ain't that the truth?
Are Rickies like pills? Did we ever say how you do Rickies? Or do you
Oh.
You take
I
a
don't
needle
know.
and you jam it in your eye.
However you
I
want.
think you should
You jam it into your eye.
Yeah,
Show your eye.
yeah.
Sure. You just like lift your eyelid up and just poke it in there.
Yeah, so maybe it's like a pill, but you like rub it between your fingers and you heat it up till it's mushy, and then you shove it in your eye.
Ugh, gross.
God.
No!
Crazy.
No!
Maybe you just have to like, what if you just, it just needs to like enter a mucus membrane. So like in your
Yeah.
nose, you can
Yeah.
eat it and
Mhm.
eye works. Or
The
you
eye
can,
just
like-
hides the fucking
Rub it on your
pockmarks,
gum.
dude. Like,
yeah. Okay, yeah, so there's different places. Maybe some people like the burn if you rub it in your eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gets to your
Probably,
brain
like, more
faster.
direct.
That's for like an
It's
advanced
hardcore.
user.
It's for the really hardcore.
And the other ones you could actually
The other one you can totally
Butt
shove it in your
chug
butt, dude.
Rickies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you take that shit.
Some people
you
take
Yeah.
it into poison rats.
When Ingus was addicted, he preferred to soften it in his fingers and then shove it in his eye because it gets
Nice.
to the brain
You're hardcore.
faster.
It's Ricky's. Then you're really rickrolling then.
He's tempted just thinking about it.
It's bringing back the
like
memories. The urges are coming back.
Yeah.
The jonesing.
Ugh.
Getting a Ricky, having a Ricky
Jonesing for
fit.
Rickies.
Give me some Rickies. man. Come
Jonesing
on.
for a Ricky.
Just like rubbing his eyes. Oh no.
I'll suck a dick for a Ricky. Alright, let's continue. Let's continue on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
funny.
That's, oh, okay.
Where were we?
All right, where were we?
I can't make it up this wall, so
All right, yeah. So Dalana just kind of defused a suspicion or somebody
Oh,
that
good
was kind of
Samaritan,
investigating
basically.
why people were trying to get boosted onto a roof.
and I'm still not on the roof yet.
Well, let's go for round 2 this time then. Deck, bro, help me out. Hefton this brought up on a roof, and I'm gonna roll it, and I'm gonna just give her double secret advantage.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Me and Deck will do it this time.
I could hide behind the donkey.
Okay,
Just go duck behind the
I can
donkey.
just go be petting the donkey.
Yeah.
totally up to
Do
you.
that for sure. That's awesome, actually, because there's already 2 people
All
on
right,
the roof.
I'm gonna go be by the donkey. I think it's
Okay.
better there. I'll just be like a
Okay.
random lady in the
By a
street petting the
donkey.
donkey, and I'll whip out my rapier then, instead.
Well, that's quite a ways down the alley, though.
You could hide in plain sight on the donkey.
So Dalana, roll hide to hide behind the donkey.
Okay. Oh, 19 plus 3, so 22.
Nice.
Okay, and then also, so as you start to duck behind the donkey does not know you, and so it starts to startle, and it makes the donkey noise.
The brain. Yeah.
So roll handle animal to see if you can
Oh,
keep the
God.
donkey in place.
Oh, yeah.
Plus oh, great, 4, so I'm totally fucked up this donkey.
And the donkey kicks you in the head.
You try to like crouch behind the donkey, and you pull out your rapier to prepare for battle, and the donkey starts bucking and going or whatever like sounds donkeys
Yeah.
make.
Maybe we should try the roof again.
And it's kind of startled, but it kind of like stops after a while. But it's after that you're not going to be able to effectively hide behind the donkey. It does not trust
Okay.
you.
I'm also gonna obviously pull out my short bow in anticipation.
Yeah, because I'm kind of creating a ruckus here. This donkey hates me. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
So I think we should just try to get you back up on top of the roof.
Yeah, I'm gonna crawl back down to the edge of the roof and hold my hand down.
All right, I'll make it work.
All right, roll twice, Dalana.
Oh, nice. Okay. 16.
Okay, so
That's plenty.
you're able to find some like sturdier shingles, and you're able to get up onto the roof.
They're gonna like light the roofs on fire, and we're gonna be fucked.
Nah, it's fine.
Nah,
Presumably
it's
they don't
only
have
a
They probably
first-
won't do
It's
that.
only a 1 story. You can jump off of that.
Yeah, you can jump and not die.
Tuck and roll.
You forget that
Yeah.
I'm
Jump
rich
off a
and
second
rough
story. It's
soft.
fine.
All right, let's set the scene.
Yeah.
Set the trap too. So
What's across the street, across from the alley?
It would be more, just kind of more houses, more kind of shanties along that side. You're kind of in like a somewhat residential area.
Okay, is there like a doorstep or somewhere I can just kind of hang out on for a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there'd be kind of like a doorstep, which would just be kind of like some gravel that's kind of piled up, just kind of leading into a doorway.
there one right directly across from the alley?
We gotta draw it out for you.
You're
Yeah, there you
you're
go.
forcing him to doodle more, Sam.
I know, right? My great doodles.
I'll hang out right here, just outside.
We didn't warn those people.
Nah, we didn't. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, who cares? Whatever. They can call
Survival
the
of
cops.
the
later.
fittest and best
I'll just
focus.
knock gently and tell him to stay inside.
Psst. Don't come outside.
And no one seems to be home at that address.
Let's just go in and eat their food.
I am hungry.
They're busy with their Rickies.
Oh yeah.
Ain't got time for
Yeah.
this.
They're out buying Rickies, shoving them in their eye.
All the cool kids are doing it.
So, I guess it's time to put on the show, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, so how would you like to set this up?
I'm gonna run down the street, down to the southern position of the street.
Before they do all this, as the resident performer, I want to yell down at them to channel real experiences from your past and let those emotions come back. And then I'm gonna duck back to hiding.
Whatever you say, dude. And then I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna go down to the southern point of the street.
I mean, can't you inspire these guys and make their performance better?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good
Oh, unless
idea.
you want to do like a little improvisational workshop before we start.
I'm going to give one inspiration to each of you.
Well, that's generous.
Daniel, you remind me of a great actor I once knew named Flobgald McGee.
Ugh.
And he once did a routine so funny and poignant at the same time that I cried and laughed for weeks. May you perform as naturally as he.
Cool.
And then Dek, you're tall, and, that goes a long way in the entertainment industry. Good luck to you.
I'm gonna kind of like furrow my brows and be like, thank you, Ingus, thank you. I'm not gonna walk off after Daniel.
So now you each get a 1d6 to add to whatever 20-sided roll you want, essentially, in the next 10 minutes.
And just to let you know, Jake, Flobgald McGee is going to that
Canon.
reference will be coming up at some point in time later. So that is now canon in the lore.
One of the best actors in all of Havathax is Flobgald McGee.
He's well known for making you laugh and cry for days on end. So, like, in the terms of the plan, I go up to Dek and I'm like, all right, Dek, I'm going to run down to the end of the street. I'm going to turn a corner. I'm going to try and, like, dip in an alley or whatever. And then I'm going to start screaming at the top of my lungs how much in pain I am and how much of in need of a healer I am at little to no cost. And then we'll just start, we'll play off of each other. If you catch my drift.
Improvise. Now that I know they're going to improvise a little bit, I'm going to scream, yes, and. Yes, and. And then I'll go back to hiding and stay there this time.
We're really sneaky.
But I was going to say, you guys are great at stealth. This is amazing. Okay.
When I see that Dek is that I lose visual on Dek, and I'll wait a couple of beats, and then I'll start screaming, "Ow! Ooh, the pain! Oh my god, my body's in shambles!" And I'll just be screaming to the heavens like, if only there was a little to no cost healer around. And I'll just I'll fall upon the ground on my knees, and I'll brace myself with one hand, and the pain. Oh, and my bandana is already, I've positioned it already, as we noted before, over my eye, and I'll hold with my other hand over my face. I'll say, the pain's excruciating, radiating from the facial region. And I'll,
Roll a performance
oh no.
to see how believable.
I hope I do really well.
Don't
See how it
forget
comes
your
off.
inspiration.
I got a 19. I ain't gonna fucking waste that inspiration yet.
Okay, and then a couple people come out from the street and they go, "Great Havgar, this man needs help. Someone get help!" And so like some people go like running down the other sides of the street to go find help. And one lady comes by and goes, "You poor boy."
I am
We didn't calculate the bystanders. Oh god.
so poor and wounded.
So one kind of maybe middle-aged woman comes up and she goes, "Where does it hurt? What happened?"
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
The pain.
This is terrible.
I should have coached you more.
I rolled a 19. She's buying it.
That's pretty good. Okay. And then, so
Everyone in
Dek,
Halifax believes you now.
They should.
Dek, were you gonna make a heroic
Yeah,
entrance?
I'm gonna kind of come back down the alley from pretty much back towards Daniel, and I'm gonna kind of be drawn to the crowd, hear the noises, and I'm gonna kind of walk up and I have my hood on, the borrowed cloak and whatnot. I'm gonna kind of pull the hood back and be like, someone need healing? I can assist in whatever way possible.
It is me.
And there's like one, like that one, like motherly lady is like down and has like Daniel like in her arms, and she goes, "Please help this poor boy."
I'm dead weight in her arms, and I'm like, the pain.
I don't know what's wrong. He says it hurts everywhere.
It does.
Thank you, man. I'll do what I can. I'm gonna kind of like go to one knee and kind of roll back the borrowed cloak sleeves and look at Daniel and be like, where does it hurt, friend? Where can I help? And I'm gonna kind of hold out my hands, kind of like the healing kind of motion and whatnot.
Heal as loudly as possible.
Yeah, and I will, Daniel will be like, it hurts here, and he just kind of points everywhere. But like, not only does he do that, like he has his eyes like really like closed shut tight, but then he opens one at like looking at Dek, and then he like raises his eyebrows a little bit.
Ah, I understand. Thank you. I'm gonna
and then he goes back to and then whatever Dek wants to do with my soft, supple body is what happens.
I'm gonna kind of turn around and like clasp my hands and be like, Vaxelroth, guide my hands. Let me heal this young one, so full of life and vitriol. No, not vitriol, but it's so full of life and spirit. Give my hands the power to heal. And I'm gonna do a performance check for.
Okay, with advantage because that was very good.
Ingus is shedding a tear. He's moved by this performance.
Yes. Okay. I got a 20. So
Hell yeah.
total 20. So.
Nat 20 or
17 plus 3. So
okay, gotcha. So still an unbelievably heartwarming,
that old lady is
enthralling performance.
crying.
Yeah, you guys have got this crowd like they're in awe, and so the crowd like kind of like backs off, and there's probably like maybe 8 people at this point, and as you're kind of like explaining and kind of saying about kind of doing a prayer, you hear like a couple people go off. They're like, I don't think they're supposed to do that. And like people in first are at awe, but now are getting kind of worried. And you kind of hear a gruffer voice come from down the street to the north. And you kind of hear like the clinking of metal against metal. And you hear a gruff voice that go, "Hey, what's going on down there?" As you see 3 people, looks like 2 kind of heavier set males that have blue cloaks on that the Children of Chaos are known to all wear, and then they also do have black leather with golden studs inlaid on kind of like the inside as their armor. There's 2 half-orc males that come up, and you can see that there's what looks like an elven female behind them that has like a bow out. The 2 larger guys, you can see one guy has a great axe in one of his hands, and the other guy has this enormous hammer. And they point at Dek, and they go, you know that there's not supposed to be street healing out here.
how can you do this? This man is clearly in pain, and you bastards in your cursed organization, I don't give a shit about you. I'm going to heal this man whether you care about it or not. You can try and stop me if you want, but I will not let this man die because of your arbitrary rules.
The commitment.
And Daniel comes up with a sick uppercut, and whoever is nearest to him gets a fucking mouthful of fist if it's allowed by the DM to do a nice little sucker punch on one of these
Are
bastards.
they close enough to do that?
I mean, they're like right up against you. So if you want to, surprise round, yeah, because it's a fist.
Yeah,
so...
that's what's happening.
Oh, they are right there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so Daniel, since like you did such a good job of your performance, they weren't expecting it from
I
you,
figured.
so they thought Dek might. So I'll give you a surprise round on that because they thought that you were injured. Okay.
15 plus 3 plus 2, so 20.
Okay, that should hit. Wait, because if you're attacking from prone, disadvantage to attack rolls.
Oh, you
Would they be
bastard.
flat-footed though?
Even though I'm very dexterous?
They don't have flat-footed in 5th.
So then instead that is a 16.
Okay, and that Still hits. Would you like to punch the one with the hammer or the one with the great axe?
Who is Deck talking to?
Deck's talking to the one with the hammer.
Yeah, I'll fucking like stop him dead in his tracks with his chatting. And I'll throw that punch for a wicked 7, and then I'm gonna follow up another attack with martial arts, and I'm going to punch the other guy. Like I'm gonna uppercut one,
axe?
and I'll be up on my feet, I guess, at that point.
Oh, use the
And then
momentum
I'll
of the
I don't
uppercut.
Yeah.
think.
Oh, I can't do that. Devin's not allowed.
That's a strange physics.
No, because you get a surprise round, so you have an entire round. So yes, you can.
Cool. Then I will. I'll launch myself up with that punch, and then I'll spin and I'll throw a bow, like an elbow, basically doing a shoryuken from the ground up, and spinning and throwing a bow at the guy's nose if I can get a chance to. So yeah. Oops. Ooh, that's a 5. But I'm gonna use inspiration.
There we go.
Okay, so that's a 16 total again.
Absolutely. So that hits, and that's to the guy with the great axe, right? So that's the other guy.
Yeah,
that gets the elbow.
Yeah, the other guy. Yeah.
All right, and
I'm
the
just
elbow
spreading the love.
goes right across the face.
That one was only for 5 points of damage, though.
Okay, and you knock some teeth out of his mouth with your elbow as you are now standing right in front of him. And they're both very surprised
Fuck
that you
you.
were not horribly injured. And then with that, initiative.
Oh, yes.
Huzzah!
Okay, and then we'll start from the top. So Dalana,
8.
Daniel,
12.
12, Deck,
10.
Eli,
4.
ooh, Ingus.
I rolled a 20.
Wow.
Ooh.
Perfect, actually.
Oh, you rolled it. Okay.
No,
so
no.
you're-
It's an 18 plus
Oh,
2.
so it's okay. I see.
20 total.
Okay, and then Riven.
21.
Wow.
Perfect. No, that'll be perfect.
We go back, so it's gonna be Riven, Ingus, the guy with the hammer, Danny, the elven woman with a bow that's behind the two big half-orc guys, Deck, Dalana, great axe guy, and then Eli. So, Riven, start us off. The fight has begun, and the peasants scatter.
Okay, I'm going to shoot at the guy with the great hammer. Do I get advantage because he's in combat, or no?
No, you just get sneak attack.
Okay. That is a 10 plus 6 is 16.
So that hits. Yep, so that easily sinks through the leather and into his back.
Into my war chest. 1d6 plus 2 plus 1d6 is 4 plus 4 is 8 damage.
And the
Can't
arrow
believe you
goes
get a
all
dex
the way
bonus.
down to the feathers into his back.
Damn.
Huzzah!
And he's looking very, very weak and is having a hard time holding up the hammer, but is still standing.
And he's the one who's in front of me, right?
Yeah. No, that'd be the one probably
Hammer,
the closest to Daniel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was the guy that Daniel attacked first.
Okay.
No, the one that I attacked first was the one that was talking to Deck. Whoever was talking to Deck.
Okay, so that would be the one. Okay, that's right. Okay, got it. So it goes down to Ingus.
So I see the arrow go into the guy's back without a second's hesitation. That's who I'm aiming for, and I unleash an arrow of my own.
Roll for it.
18 plus 4, so a 22.
Oh,
Damn.
easily right in the chest.
And I rolled a 3 plus 2, so 5.
I still cannot believe that 5th edition gives you dexterity bonus on damage all the time.
It's ranged as like almost
Fucking
is
crazy.
arguably OP.
Fucking
it's-
crazy. You needed
it's
feats for
n-
that shit before and like level
Yeah.
requirements and stuff. dude.
It's
bananas.
gnarly.
Back in my day, uphill, backwards, both ways. in the
Yeah.
snow.
His Thaco versus my AC.
Yeah,
Right.
we needed mighty longbows for our bonus.
Dude,
Um,
Thaco.
Back in my
oh,
day.
man.
Yeah, Thaco. Yeah, those were the days
For the
when
kids
negative
at
armor
home.
class was good.
You wanted that shit.
Yeah. So that arrow sinks in about halfway into his chest, and he's still barely standing.
Wow.
Jeez.
But he's still there, and
What a
Damn it.
jerk.
just still clinging on to life. He goes, "You little bastard!" And he's gonna try to crush you with his large hammer,
Crush who?
Crush.
Daniel.
I wonder.
Oh, okay.
For punching him in the face.
And so, Daniel, what is your armor class?
It's a 15.
Okay, and the hammer comes down and
Oh
lands
no!
That's all right.
Literally
Square
dropped the
away.
hammer.
right
Oh,
to
I
the side.
actually need to heal him then. Like,
Yeah,
Potentially.
actually heal him. Yeah.
Our real street.
No more full healing for you.
So Danny, as the hammer comes down like right on the side and crunches through your collarbone and parts of your neck, take 11 damage.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
It's a
Oh,
large
jeez.
two-handed. It's a two-handed maul just coming down and
Oh,
crushing
God.
the side.
Oh.
Ouchie. All right, yeah. Can I like, and then like try and slough it off, but it obviously hurt really. Like I try to fucking flex that.
Yeah,
It's
your
like,
shoulder's not working right.
Remember this pain for another performance.
that fucking hurt bad.
Yeah.
actually.
Use it.
God damn.
So and then Daniel, it's now your turn.
Oh, thank God! I'm gonna punch that guy.
With the
your strong
arm
arm.
that's not mushed.
Yeah, you can just like slap him.
Yeah, what I'll do is while he still has that shit on my shoulder, I'll throw it up. But with that momentum of me trying to throw that shit up, I'll do a spin kick, cool little spin kick into him. Ooh, except that's a 2. So instead, I'm going to
Not
roll
a very cool
different
kick.
dice. Yeah, I know. So instead, I'm gonna do that spin kick missed, and then as I continue rotating, I'll drop another bow into him, and my right elbow
The
into him.
bonus.
And I'll try and drill it into him. Okay. Oh, I don't think that's gonna do it. I think it's only a 13.
Nope, that hits.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yep, so that goes through the leather. So yep, it doesn't give very good protection, and he's not overly good at getting out of the way. He doesn't really try to get out of the way at all.
For a tasty 5 points of damage.
So he's probably not the one we'll be interrogating later.
And
Oh.
that was with
No.
an elbow, right?
Sure was, yeah. Like I was basically going with my back towards him and just fucking taking my whole weight and dropping my elbow into like his chest or into his like collarbone kind of area, his upper body.
Okay, so the spin kick missed, but then with the elbow goes right into his collarbone, and with that, it's just enough to make him collapse onto the floor. So
Okay.
he is out of combat.
AKA dead.
Cool. Then I will stand my ground wearily. At this
Okay,
Jesus.
One shoulder is just like,
you got your revenge, but your shoulder really hurts.
ouch.
It really, really hurts.
Okay, and so the woman that has the bow is going to take a little bit of a step back and is going to try to fire up at Riven on the
Oh, at
rooftop
Riven.
since she saw the bow or the arrow come out from there. So she's going to pop a shot at you, Riven. Riven, what's your armor class?
16. I have the high ground.
That's true.
You do have the high ground.
Does that matter?
I think that gives you I think it gives you a bonus in like melee.
Oh.
So jump down at her
Yeah.
with a sword next time.
And the arrow hits its mark.
No.
It does get you in the gut. Take 5 damage from a short bow arrow.
No.
And then Deck.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, murder this man in front of us. Holy shit.
Let's see though, because I'm not armed at the moment, and it would take. What action would that take for me to arm myself with my mace to pull it out?
You can pull it out with the attack.
Oh,
So if you attack as well, like it just so you can pull it out and attack. It's like a part of the attack.
I rolled a 14 to hit with the mace.
Absolutely, that lands.
Hell yeah!
Crunch.
Crunch.
Damn, and I got 7 points of damage.
All right.
Nice.
And you sweep across, and you can feel some ribs crunch from under your blow as it
Nice.
goes right through the leather.
Damn, nice. So I kind of imagined that I was kind of like crouched over Daniel, or maybe had stood up or whatever, but I kind of like with,
Backhand.
like
Oh, with one swell move.
Crunch.
Yeah.
Yep. So some ribs.
Good old
caved
samurai
in.
slash.
Yep, exactly.
And then like a little bit of like blood comes out of his mouth.
Anime style.
Punch it, yeah. And then
Yeah.
it was-
Yeah, the blood
that's if it was
splatter.
slash. Yeah. If you had a katana, yeah, you would cut him in half and then just like stop, and then he slides in half.
If only Dakota was here, Henry. If
Yeah,
only
and he
Dakota
goes,
was here.
Oh, nani, and then like his head just slides off. Yeah.
How awesome would it be to be like sponsored by Taco Bell, and then every time Deck crunches somebody with his mace, will be like, "This crunch moment brought to you by Crunch Wrap Supreme, only at Taco Bell."
You know
Get
what's really
crunched.
crunchy? And then there'd be a spell called Baja Blast.
Oh my god.
That would be
No, that would just every single time Eli sends Eldritch Blast,
but
we go
better.
blah, blah.
It's
It's blue colored,
Oh my god.
It's
Yeah.
blue.
much tastier.
Yeah, it's much more
Refreshing.
refreshing than an Eldritch Blast.
Find it only at Taco Bell today.
Eldritch Blast. What if that was like a soda?
Oh my
Oh
god.
man, it needs to be a soda in this universe.
It would probably taste like a monster.
It just tastes
Yeah.
like it tastes like evil.
For some reason,
Okay.
I pictured that it tasted like old books.
It tastes like old books.
You fucking cough and a tentacle comes out and you go, ugh. And you fucking slip that shit right back in.
That's messed up, dude. That's messed up.
All right, so after deck, Dalana. So you were on a rooftop next to the one that Riven is on.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at the other brute guy or whatever. Obviously, we're gonna try
Okay.
to, take this bitch alive.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna use my short bow. Okay, so 16.
Total, and yep, so that lands,
Sweet.
goes right into his side. And you would get sneak attack for that because he's in combat
Oh,
with your
yeah.
other allies.
With
So he doesn't
within
see it
5
coming.
feet of the other folks. Yeah.
Right. Nice.
Oh, so it's 2 1d6 then, right?
Yep.
Plus your dex modifier.
Uh-huh.
5 and 5.
And then you'll add your dexterity
Oh, shit.
modifier.
He's gonna murder this dude.
Oh, he's
1.
dead.
So 11.
All right, so the arrow from Dalana, you shoot through him, it hits him right in the ribs. It passes through him completely and then digs into the floor right at the foot of Deck. And
Nice.
he just
Okay.
crumbles lifeless after that.
Nice.
Wow.
Cool.
But the arrow passed
Alright.
completely through. And we're just left with the female archer in the back.
Who's
and it
gonna
goes-
intimidate? Who's gonna intimidate?
Yeah, so Eli, it's your turn.
Good, he's the intimidator.
Let's see here. We gotta inflict some damage. Hopefully it doesn't kill him.
Oh, you gotta do this Pokemon style, right? If you gotta catch him, you gotta beat him up a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Hexblade Curse as a bonus action, and then
Gonna give her a Baja Blast.
The Baja Blast.
I'm a warlock of flavor.
There's been a lot of Baja blasting going on at the full mast as well.
oh god.
Especially on the day of coming.
Oy.
I mean, like, what a festive holiday to get blasted.
Actually, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna actually cast Hex instead as a bonus action. You choose one ability when you cast a spell. Target has disadvantage on ability checks made with this chosen ability. And then I'm gonna choose. What is the opposing check for intimidation?
I think with that, there's
Either it's wisdom or charisma. So I guess wisdom will probably be my choice.
Does the spell say anything specific, like, or do you have a spell save difficulty check?
Not for this.
I don't know how this game works anymore. You get dex bonuses with arrows every time. I don't
You
fucking...
get whatever you want, whenever you want.
It's just, yeah, Hex is just casted. But I'm just saying if later on I'm trying to intimidate, if there's a...
I see what you mean. You're just trying to set it up, yeah.
there's not a resistance, but I'll give you advantage to your intimidate check.
All right.
Okay.
If you
We'll do that
hex
later.
them for
Alright.
intimidate, because I don't think they roll an opposing thing. It's just kind of a DC set.
And then we will actually Eldritch Blast and hopefully not kill this person. But just enough to...
It's a little
Just enough
scary,
here.
scary little black.
You're just shooting across the bow and hopefully taking the chunk out while you're
Yeah.
doing it, you know?
So
A
we
shot
will roll
straight
for a
into
hit
the bow.
DC here.
hmm
Give it a go.
16.
And that lands. And so, what does your Eldritch Blast look like again, Eli, as it comes out?
Oh, it's not very visible. It just looks like
It's blue
a
and
disturbance in the
carbonated.
air, like something just moving through the air.
Okay.
You don't see a projectile
A
or anything,
wave?
but it's like the trail, yeah, the wave, disturbance in the air.
Okay. No, and it lands. And so she
Alright.
kind of sees it coming and tries to dodge, but not fast enough. Roll for damage.
Hopefully it didn't kill her with a 14.
How?
Points of damage.
How did you roll a 14?
Because I rolled a 10 on that one.
The one time we don't want the highest numbers, we get them. It's damn.
Well,
She's
Zach, you are a healer.
barely-
You might have to heal her.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll bring her
Healer.
back.
So she's still standing, but barely.
And-
She has
okay.
one hit point left.
I was about to say,
Lord.
is it 15?
Honestly.
Is it 15?
I would like to, with that though, she's also pushed back 10 feet away from me.
Oh, you have the push thing.
Yeah, so she might get slammed into that wall, but
Oh,
that's not my problem.
So
We'll let God sort him out.
it would probably be like close. She would slump up right against the wall, but I would say at that angle, not enough to do damage. But she'd be slapped up against the building.
Do I get a chance to say one thing to her?
Yep, she is still conscious.
Am I able to try and intimidate and say, you best just stay down?
So yeah, I'll let you do that. Usually, like, I think using a skill in combat usually takes like an action, but since that's like a verbal one, yeah, I'll let you do it because it's like a verbal thing. So like yeah. So roll intimidation, and then you'll have advantage to intimidate.
Nat 20 on the second roll.
Okay, so whatever you say, it is going to be incredibly intimidating. Both of her partners are dead. She is on death's door.
Does she poop
What
herself?
do you say to intimidate? That she's going to get darn close.
Roll for poop?
I'm telling her to stay down, or there's more where that came from. Brought to you by Baja Blast.
Yeah, I saw that fucking.
So she drops the bow, drops to her knees, and weakly puts up her hands and just says, "I yield." And you can see that like her hands are trembling.
Someone tie that bitch
Okay.
up. I say that in a respectful way.
From the
Tie that bitch
rooftop.
up.
Hey, tie that bitch up.
Oh wait, I have rope. I guess I can go do that now.
Yeah, I'll saunter up with Eli,
Yeah, roll for BDSM.
and I'll fucking brush the blood off of my elbows because that's apparently the only thing I've really made contact with. And I'll walk up with Eli.
Oh yeah, it was all elbows. Then you see that like some of the people, some of the townsfolk that kind of like moved away are like whispering to each other of like, they took out some of the guards. Whoa. Like they're kind of like amazed and surprised that somebody fought back.
Can I cast sleep on her just to make sure that she's just out?
You can. Did anybody want to like tie her up first? I mean, she's yielded, so what would the party like to do first, I suppose? Dek, did you have?
Yes, I would first like to use Cure Wounds on Daniel.
Oh, I guess I'm beat up.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
pretty
I forgot.
How many hit points did you have left, Daniel?
I have 4.
Yeah, okay, yeah, those hammers hurt. Yeah,
They really do.
he rolled really well on that hammer.
So I healed. I got a 6 plus 2, so I healed Daniel for 8 hit points. I'm gonna imagine that I'm trying to try and stitch up your wounded shoulder, not perfectly, but as best I can. So
Cool. I'm at nice and
I'm gonna
tasty
draw my
12.
rapier and jump down from the roof and go, ha ha! Submit.
Nice.
You're gonna jump off the roof?
Yeah.
Roll acrobatics. See if you can stick the landing.
One by one, all the
Stick the
men
landing.
in this group are going to go up to her and just tell her
It's
to
a
submit.
5 total.
Did you say a 5?
Yeah.
God.
5.
So you just like your feet hit and you go and then you just basically your whole body just slaps down on the ground
And from the ground, I go, submit.
and you just collapse on the ground.
I like this Riven guy. He's pretty fucking great.
Take 5 damage from a 1-story fall.
What?
5 whole damage.
Every 10 feet is supposed to be 1d6.
Holy shit, that did more damage than the battle did.
So if you stuck the landing, you probably could have done it. But
That is so funny.
sorry, Dek.
yes, I think once I help heal Daniel, get him back to his feet, I'm gonna walk over to the archer and be like, I'm gonna use my healing word, and I'm gonna say to her like, relax, like just. You're not going to die right now. And I'm going to use healing word, something to heal her for 3 hit points so she doesn't bleed out. So
Yeah, while he's doing that, I'm polishing up my elbows.
And so she looks up at you, Dek, and she doesn't say anything, but she kind of looks surprised. Like, she's surprised that she's not being basically executed on the spot. So she did not expect mercy.
Did you say she was an elf or she's a half-orc?
So she has the pointed ears, so Dek, upon closer inspection, you would see that she's probably a half-blooded elf.
half. Okay.
So she's about a half-elf.
Interesting.
Is it like half elf and half orc?
It's never described. It's always just half elf.
Yeah, I know. They never have like half dwarf, half elf.
Anything bangs an elf, half elf. That's what
Half
happens.
elf.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what happens, half elf. That's how it works. I ain't Mother Nature.
So Deck just healed her. I'm gonna just climb down gently and not like an idiot.
Oh, sure.
I'll just say that you're able to climb down. You take your time.
I mean, if you're not a showman, I guess you can do that. Like, whatever.
I am a showman.
I'm gonna also climb down, not like an idiot.
There you go.
Maybe go check on the donkey.
Check on that poor donkey.
Well, the donkey is like down the alleyway a good deal, so the donkey is good because nobody was too close.
No one was fucking
Yeah.
with the
Good.
donkey.
Good. I just
the
like I
donkey's
take a peek and I
munching.
just make sure though he's okay.
Okay, yeah, donkey's munching on some hay, so he seems cool.
I'm gonna use second wind to heal the damage I got from jumping off the roof like an idiot.
Is there any loot on these dead orcs? Dead half orcs?
Yeah, so I mean, so each one of them is gonna have like that blue Children of Chaos cloak on them. They're all gonna have that studded leather that has that kind of decorated like golden studding. One had a great axe, one had a maul, and all together they've got 39 gold pieces across the two of them.
We should definitely take like their uniform. I think that could be like
yeah,
useful.
we
you
should.
know?
That'll become useful later.
Ooh, can I make a suggestion for that just for a moment? Can we instead drape those fucking robes of theirs, those blue capes or whatever, over them like they were like cadaver tarps or whatever? Just to like really fucking show a message.
Send a message,
Just like lay
yeah.
those fuckers in the street and show that, and then drape them over with that blue shit just to be like, fuck that shit. Like, guess, like there's a new sheriff in town.
Take a dagger and just like scrape into their forehead the words "the tides are turning" or something like that.
Unnecessary.
We'll strip them of the armor. Like that shit had gold studs in it. Like we'll make bank off of that. But like I think at least they're like cloaks or whatever. We can steal this bitch's cloak. Sorry, this respectable woman of the town.
We don't know she's respected.
But we'll like we'll take her cloak.
Yeah, we can. Obviously, we'll have her clothes.
I say we throw the cloaks on these guys like they're like as a message. Be like, yo, like suck my ass.
Yeah. Has anybody taken the time to actually restrain the elf woman?
Yeah, we did that.
She's not gonna fight back.
This
But where are
time.
we gonna take her?
Yeah, that's the.
Are we gonna take
I
her?
think-
That's what we gotta find out.
And note that you are in public on like a fairly busy street.
Yeah.
So like people are watching, but you can hear some people from like down the side. You hear one scream from the back goes, "Thank you," as people just kind of watch, but there's many observers
Can we get is there a way
from
to
where
like
you are now.
roll and get a sense of like in general, is the crowd happy that we did this?
Yeah, are they clapping and jumping?
They're
in the streets?
surprised. There's some people that are clapping, but most people look surprised. Some look scared, and like they're surprised that like somebody fought back and you won, I guess. But no one's really ever, at least most people are not really ever sad to see some of these guys go down. The way they enforce their justice is usually never kindly or actually justice.
Obviously, Ingus wants to, win over the crowd and make sure that the crowd loves this. So the idea of like doing something to these dead bodies to like prove a point sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm not really playing that part. It's so weird.
Yeah, I just want to drape the capes over him and maybe spit on him. Like I'll spit on him, I guess.
Give him a spit, drape the capes, and then we'll take the lady and go.
Give him a spit, drape the capes, and let's get going.
That's the,
Gentlemen.
Time to kick rocks, gents.
that's how we roll. We spit on him and drape the capes, and we're good to go. We fucking roll out, Autobots roll out style.
It's
It's the motto of the
Yeah.
branded hands.
Write it in the handbook.
It's in the handbook.
well, Daniel, go ahead and desecrate while we discuss where we want to take
Yeah.
this lady to torture and interview her.
Did you guys decide where you wanted to take her or how you guys are going to exit?
Would it be inappropriate if we took her to the clinic?
I mean, you could, but the thing is they're charging for it and they don't let people in unless you pay.
But someone that's injured from the enforcers might be able to get entry much easier than not.
Yeah.
That's a frickin' power move. Be like, here's the people who are blackmailing you. Tell us why they're blackmailing you.
Yeah, that's my thought.
We could do a charm person and then have her get us into the clinic.
Oh.
Or the security guard, right?
Well,
We could also charm that person, the clinic.
Yeah.
security dude.
As far as I remember, we were using this lady to get to Orton.
Orton, right?
So yeah, it's like, whoa, the murder clouded my thought. I forgot about Orton.
We should probably ask her like at least one question before we're like, here, be live bait, and just
Yeah,
throw her
exactly.
at the wall.
Like if we need a safe and secluded spot, like I know a pretty good place where like street gambling takes place.
Oh
at,
yeah.
It may or may not be
let's
right
not
next.
do
It may or may not be the alleyway of our inn, but I know of a place.
As long as Grom doesn't know we were that close, it doesn't matter.
Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I know how dark this is gonna sound, but do we have a way to make sure she doesn't scream for help?
Yeah, I'll take my bandana off and I'll fucking gag her.
Well, and it's in the middle of the day, so how are you gonna like transport her?
I could just charm person her and she'll just walk with us wherever we're going, right?
Like, there's a door 10 feet to her left, and let's just walk over there and kick the door in and just take that house up.
I'm
Well,
gonna-
yeah,
I
what's
think
it-
she also realizes we can kill her immediately.
Well, in the sense of whose houses are potentially vacant, the one that Eli knocked at the first time,
I love it. I love that.
right across the way, yeah, it was essentially empty. So we can definitely bust that shit down, or open it nicely.
We have rogues. We'll pick the locks.
I was gonna say I have sleight of hand too, like if it needs to get done.
We don't have to break everything.
These fists were made for breaking, dude.
Bring someone in and torture them.
We should pretend it's our home, though. What if somebody in this crowd lives there or knows the person who lives there, and we're just walking in?
Hey, this anyone's house?
How far are we from the clinic? That's why I'm thinking that's still a good idea, because if we can get in, there's gonna be plenty of screaming people from injuries and stuff. That one more person causing ruckus is not gonna make a difference.
So from where the temple is, you're pretty much, it's like on the opposite side of the district. So it's pretty far away.
Yeah, I'd rather deal with getting the information about Orton first, and before we even deal with the clinic, because I think the clinic is, to be honest, an above table talk, a pretty good staging point for a sick ass boss fight.
I'm gonna cast Charm Person on her, so at very least we can have her on our side, and we're not like walking through town with a roped up woman.
Ingus, before you do that, since you guys are hostile to her, since you were fighting, she will get
does
advantage
get
on her
advantage.
save.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Do you still want to do that? You can.
Wait, what's the resistance to charm? If she gets a save, what's the
It's
roll that
wisdom.
she gets?
It's wisdom.
I think it's a wisdom.
So it counteracts as just a regular roll, then, right?
She would get if she gets disadvantage and advantage, so then that
It
It cancels
cancels
out.
out.
Roll,
It cancels out. Yeah.
I've also cast 0 spells this entire game, so it's okay just to waste it if it gets wasted. All right, I'm gonna cast Charm Person on her.
All right.
I have a fake daisy that I carry around with me, so I'm going to basically go up to her and offer her the fake daisy, and as I offer it to her, I cast the Charm Person spell.
Okay. And she looks at the daisy, and you can see that her eyes are like really like narrowed and kind of scared, and her face just suddenly kind of lightens up, and she looks at you and she goes, "Oh, hey, Ingus, why am I tied up?"
Wow.
Well, we were playing a trick on you. Funny thing. Do you have a home near here?
A home? Yeah, it's like right down the street. Why?
Oh, we would just love to come over for lunch and ask you a few questions.
Like to come over. I don't know if the others would like that.
Oh, you live
I
with
kind
some
of
other.
live with a bunch
yeah.
of others. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you have a favorite private place where we can go talk? This is a clown asking these questions. It sounds really fucking creepy.
I'll untie her while you're trying to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, I don't know. We could probably just like find a place like between a couple buildings or something. Like,
Yeah, Daniel's like, don't worry, guys, I got this one here. And it's going to go to that house that Eli was at, and he's going to try and sleight of hand picklock that shit. And open because he has a street knife, is what's in his inventory. So I'm going to use that as a lockpick.
I'm gonna give you disadvantage on that to
Oh, you
pick
I
off
have
the
bastard.
knife.
actual
You
thieves'
bastard.
tools. You can use them.
Don't worry, guys, both rolls were 18s. So 18 plus
Whoa.
dex,
Oh, wow.
and
Jesus.
so it's a 23, actually.
Wow, that street knife is something else.
I guess
Nice
so.
knife.
It's a magical street
Yeah,
knife.
that-
it's almost as good as that rusty nail we have.
Yeah,
Way
somehow
better than
you're
rusty nail.
Able to jam that knife in the lock, and you get it, and it whoop, opens right up.
There's a family of 4 inside, just hiding quietly.
I'm gonna talk
Yeah.
to the half elf lady and be like, "Come with us. Let's just go have lunch and have a chat real quick. Do you like soup?"
I do. Meta, I think, what does Charm Person last for 1 minute or like 10 minutes?
1 hour.
1 hour.
Holy
Okay.
This is a really long time.
Okay.
Jesus.
But at the end of the hour, she knows she was charmed. So
Yep.
Well, she'll probably also know that we tried to kill her. So
I was gonna say that doesn't. An hour is really easy to throw someone into an ocean with. You know what I mean? So
she's
whatever
probably
works.
gonna die at the end of this, but she don't need to know that.
Wait, what? We don't have to kill everyone.
I'm gonna kind of like address the crew and be like, not the crowd, but everyone who is involved in this attack. Be like, come on, guys, we're gonna go in that house and have some lunch. I'm gonna usher us all over to the house,
have some soup.
and I'm gonna
We need the soup.
wave thankfully at the crowd, but sort of in a way that's like, all right, everything's over here. Y'all can go back to what you were doing.
Yeah.
Jedi business. Go about your drinks.
Okay, and you hear kind of some like hoots and stuff. Note that there are still 2 dead bodies just like left in the street right in front of the house you went into.
Yeah, I'm gonna position them in a 69 and then put one of their cloaks over them.
I did not do that.
Just-
Daniel did not do that.
And we casually walk into a house that's not ours.
Yeah, before everyone leaves, I
And
look
all
at
the
if there's still
neighbors
crowd
watch
around. I go,
us.
shh, 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 and I fucking do that shit, and then I follow in with the rest of the party.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just
All right. Okay, so you guys like walk into the house, and it's basically just like a one room shanty, pretty much. But there is like a window facing like the front that goes out into the street that you just came from, and then also one like out the back. But otherwise, there's like a bed inside. I mean, a bookshelf and kind of like some basic belongings of whoever lives there.
Are there curtains on that front window?
Yes. Yep, some very raggedy ones, but there are. Yep, there's one in the front, then one in the back, but on the sides, it's connected to other
houses.
So everyone has entered the house. I think Daniel said that he kind of closed and locked the door behind all of you that entered this kind of one-room shack, and then
I'm gonna climb up on whatever furniture I need to reach the window, and then I'm just gonna slam the curtain shut.
okay, and you slam the curtains shut. Just a little bit of light is peeking through into the dusty room, and we will pick up with the interrogation on the next episode.
Thanks so much for joining us on our very first quest, our very first official quest, that is. Be sure to tune in next time to keep up with the continuing adventures of our crew. You can check out the video version of our adventures on YouTube, or you can listen to them as podcasts wherever podcasts are found. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow Heads Must Roll on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.